Arsenal looking to reach the League Cup final for the first time in 8 years this evening here at a very wet Emirates. They hold a 1-goal advantage over Chelsea after the first leg, following a very entertaining game in West London 3 weeks ago.
First leg of the semi-final underway. Clear header for Ben White. Pulls it right across Gyökeres! So delivering with a cross, it's all the way through to Garnacho! They've got for Super Mendy's a strike! Garnacho with a hit! Advantage Arsenal going into the second leg. Chelsea 2, Arsenal 3.
Arsenal stay top of the Premier League and Champions League tables throughout a busy January, despite a wobble here against Manchester United, as Mikel Arteta's team targets a first trophy in 6 long seasons. The new year saw another new man in charge at Chelsea. Rosenior's won all but one of 7 matches since taking over from Enzo Maresca, and that loss, a 3-2 defeat against Arsenal in the first leg. The winners will play either Manchester City or Newcastle United at Wembley in March. Good evening, Karen Carney and Ian Wright are with us here. It is slide tackle weather. Brilliant. That's for sure. You would have both played with centre-halves who would have started their slide tackle on the halfway line and finished about here, wouldn't they?
Absolutely. This is it, Poos. You don't forget. You know what? You don't remember this weather when you get to Wembley. That's the main thing. This is what it's about. I'd love to be playing in this. Absolutely love it.
I said to you before we came on air, do you like playing in the rain? You went, yeah, fantastic.
Well, you can dribble with the ball a lot quicker. I wouldn't have wanted the slide tackles.
Coming off the goalkeepers and everything. Shots coming off the keepers. Brilliant night.
Follow them all in.
Love it.
The Arsenal team here, we'll show everybody in a second, and we look at the bench. All roads lead to here, don't they, Ian? There are no more excuses for Arsenal. How confident are you, obviously about tonight, for the next 4 months as well for Mikel Arteta's team?
I'm very comfortable with what's going on. Obviously, we've gone past January and you know, we've had a couple of jitters. That's fine. We were trying to finish off something that's very difficult, and I think we've got a good squad. We've got one of the best squads in the league. I know that people's narrative is, oh, it's Arsenal's to win. Now, we're going to have to go and prove that we can win it, but I've got every confidence that we can win it, because we've proven that we're good enough to do it. We've had a slip-up. Managers had a chat. Everybody kind of, like, touched, you know what I mean? Got to set everything back together for Leeds, and we're back on track again.
I mean, Karen, they've got to overcome a very poor recent semi-final record, as you can see under Mikel Arteta. How do you feel about what's going on here? Because against Manchester United, the crowd got very antsy, and you can understand why, because they've never won the league in this ground, Arsenal. How do you read the situation?
They've lost 1 game here this season, so the top of the Premier League, they're in the FA Cup, 90 minutes away, maybe extra time, who knows, from being in this final, and top of the Champions League, and as Wrighty said, they've got, for me, the best squad. So they're in a great position, but of course, until you get that first trophy, there's always anxiety. But you've got to have confidence, and they beat Leeds 4-0 at the weekend, which was a statement result, statement performance. I think they're in a good position, and I think it's very difficult for Chelsea here tonight at home. They're on a good run, but this is a different beast here at the Emirates today.
You know what, Poogs? It's like, this is what it's about. You know, we've gone three seasons trying to win the league, and we've got a squad together now that are doing it. They're on the road, and that's what I say. You're saying about getting antsy, the Man United game. It's a massive game. You know what I mean? We're trying to get the points because City dropped. But I thought that the crowd were really good. I thought they were really good. They expect to see something because we're going for it. So fingers crossed that the boys can show them, give them confidence.
So there's the team this evening. No Saka, no Marino. Odegaard's got a little bit of a knock. And Ebbs Eze's playing number 10 there, which is really significant. Hasn't played a lot recently. No. Do people fall into the trap of thinking he is a direct duplication of Odegaard?
And they're 2 different players. You know, Odegaard wants to go and get the ball off the back. He wants many touches. On the box, trying to play through the lines, whereas Eberechi he's a number 10. He's up there. He wants to get shots off. He wants to create, and that's what we need to do. We've got something in place for Martin when Martin plays, but we need to tweak something to when Eberechi Eze plays, because we've got to utilise him where he does his greatest work, where he done it for QPR, where he done it for Palace. We've got to find a way to unlock him here as well.
This is a squad depth. This is a £60 million player. Hasn't played too much. Hasn't started the last 8 Premier League games. That's a squad depth that Mikel Arteta has, and he's talented, and he'll have a point to prove here tonight. As Wrighty said, he's so gifted in tight areas. He's a match winner as well, and he'll have a point to prove because he wants to play more. And he'll have aspirations as well.
And he wants to go to the World Cup.
Absolutely.
And we're getting
That's
ever
it.
closer to that moment. Let's have a look at the Chelsea team then. Reece James is injured. Esteban is on the bench. We actually didn't think he'd be available, but he is. Cole Palmer arrived with a mask on, so maybe he's not feeling 100%. He's on the bench as well. There he is there. When you look at that Chelsea formation, does that feel right? What does that do for Chelsea? Attacking-wise, they've got to score, obviously, lining up maybe 3-5-2.
I think that will be it, but I think they'll try and overload in the midfield areas. I think Endo Fernandez has been their catalyst this season. He's the captain, he's leader, he's been there for 3 years now. And Caicedo and Santos are two players that sit and they'll give a lot of protection. They will have to tonight to that back three, but I think that'll be the shape. They played it away in Naples last week. It wasn't as effective, you had to change it a little bit, but I think that was a learning curve for him and the squad.
I think the two up fronts is an interesting one. I think if they can get that going, and by that I say if they can frustrate Arsenal, get the ball, and then they can get the ball into those two and they can make angles, they could cause problems. But I think that it's the spaces that they may leave, Cucurella, Gusto, that we've got to try and exploit.
João Pedro's on good form, isn't he?
Yes, he is. He's scored in the last 3 or 4 games. He's been phenomenal for them. He's really stepped up, and I think he'll play a little bit deeper tonight. We've seen him play as that centre forward, but with Liam's overlapping the team, I think he'll play in that number 10 just behind him and try and get involved. And with no Cole Palmer playing, he's the creator in this team, and he's given that little bit of freedom. So he's thriving under Liam Rosenior, and he'll be a big threat tonight for the Arsenal back line to keep an eye on.
Very, very wet night, but you can really feel a real frisson around the Emirates because there's so much at stake. After 3 Premier League games without a win, Arsenal then dominated Leeds at Ellen Road at the weekend. Just the reaction that Mikel Arteta wanted, and here he is with Gabriel Clark.
Well, you're ahead in the tie. Chelsea have to score, so what's the approach?
Go and win the game from the first minute. That's the way we prepare every single game, and that's the way we prepare today's game.
There was a fearlessness about your side at Leeds. Is that one of the qualities you need, again, first?
Yes, to be in the position that we are today, one step away from Wembley, is a lot of things that you have to do along the way in the competition, and we learn about ourselves, and we have proof in various contexts that we can cope with that, and today we have a different one.
Your team, your squad, no Saka, not quite there, and Martin Odegaard, what's the situation?
Yes, for Martin as well, he had a little niggle, and we tried yesterday, he wasn't comfortable. Hopefully he's going to be fit for the weekend, but yeah, we lost Bukayo as well, unfortunately.
So it's an opportunity in that 10 role for Eberechi Eze, isn't it?
Big opportunity, and he fights for it every single day, and today he's got a beautiful one ahead of him.
What do you make of Chelsea? Because since the first leg, 5 wins out of 5, are you going to be facing a better team?
Yes, and they've been together with Liam a little bit longer, and they have the flexibility to play in different ways with the amount of players that they have, and looks like today, throughout the game, that will change, I'm sure, and we are ready for it.
And finally, what about the occasion for this group, so close now to a first Wembley Cup final? What an opportunity.
Yeah, you put the work every single day to be in these positions, and when you are there, make sure you grab it, especially when you play in front of our people.
Thank you, good luck.
Liam Rosenior has seen his side mount 2 comebacks in a week against Napoli and West Ham. Can they make it a hat-trick tonight? The pre-match thoughts of the Chelsea boss are next.
This is it. It is as good as it gets. Off we go for glory. Oh my goodness! And Ireland score. That feels significant. Daly for the line. Daly for the win.
France, Six Nations champions.
The Six Nations gets underway this Thursday evening in Paris. Yes, Thursday because of the Winter Olympics opening ceremony on Friday. Last year's champions France play host to Ireland. Join us 7:20 here, ITV1 and STV. And on Saturday we're at Twickenham. England face Wales. All the build-up for that one, 3:45. Now, Chelsea have only beaten Arsenal once in 14 attempts, something they need to do tonight to be in with a chance of making the final at Wembley next month. Let's hear from head coach Liam Rosenior with Gabriel Clark.
Well, your Chelsea team have proved they can come back in Premier League and Champions League. How do you evaluate the chance of a comeback then, the challenge of a comeback in this time?
Great challenge. Great challenge. Players have been outstanding in the last few weeks, and we need to be outstanding again to come through this tie. But I've got full faith and belief in the group. We need to be near perfect because Arsenal are an outstanding team. But if we do the things that I expect us to do, we still have a really good chance to go through.
What can we make of your selection and your approach tonight?
Yeah, my selection is to be really strong, is to take the game to Arsenal, to play in our way. That never changes. Obviously, we've got a few absences in terms of our bench. Esteval Blessing's flown back from Brazil. He's in no place to start the game. Cole is in a similar position, and we want to be strong at the end of the game as well. So, yeah, it's been a lot of balance in the last couple of games with the unforced absences as well with Reece and with Pedro Neto. But that team is still good enough to go and put on a really strong performance.
And a front two, Pedro and Delap?
Possibly.
Well, you need that goal, don't you? How do you evaluate the way you need to approach the tie? Is it a tie as well for patience?
It's a tie about winning. It's about getting through. I'd love to score early. I'd love to score late. As long as we win the game, we know it can go to extra time and maybe even penalties. The game is about winning. That's what the game is about. And I'm very, very confident against a very, very strong team. If we put in a strong performance, we can put ourselves in that position.
And unlike Arsenal, your squad have proved they're trophy winners in the last year. What might that count for tonight?
I'm not thinking about what we've achieved or what Arsenal have or have not achieved. I'm thinking about what's going to be a really difficult game against one of the best teams in Europe right now. And I'm really looking forward to how we come up and pass the test.
Thank you, good luck.
He's always really impressive, Leon Rosenior, and I've written down a really good question for Karen somewhere here,
That's
but it's all turned to blotting paper.
How do you work with that, Cruz?
It's all up here. It's all up here.
Make it all up now.
I'm going to make it up. He seems very calm, and actually the one thing Chelsea need is a period of stability. What have you made of his early days?
I think he's done unbelievably well. You know, he's won 6 out of 7. He's had difficult circumstances, no grass time, multiple competitions. He's had to rotate his squad, and he's gone out unscathed. And also difficult situations. Last week away in Napoli, Napoli hadn't lost in 25 games in the Champions League, and they went there and got a win. And even 2-0 down at West Ham, and the home fans turned on them and they got it back and won 3-2. So it's not been easy for him, far from it, but he's come through. And he mentioned win there. No question he wants to come in and win. He knows it's difficult with the players that are missing, but he's been uber positive. He's got a reaction, there's a tempo to this team, and they'll be confident here today.
Yeah. You know, I'm impressed with what he's come in and done. Straight after the Charlton game, I heard him doing an interview about the intensity and it's the mentality. The players are good enough. He knows that they're good enough, outstanding players, and it's when they lose the ball, Kaz. It's when, you know, what they do when they're in those moments under pressure, and they've shown that in the way that they've come back, and that's what they've done with this game. We should have finished this game in the first leg, but they've shown a different kind of intensity, Chelsea, and a high-pressing intensity.
Oh, yeah, they won't go away. You have to kill them off.
Yeah.
Enzo, as you say, the skipper, Enzo Fernandez, is an interesting one. At the beginning of the transfer window, when he came in and he was linked with PSG, I confess, and I thought, oh, that makes sense, probably. Yeah. But actually, quite the opposite. He's knuckled down, looks like a key man.
He does look like a key man. I think that Andres Santos, Kaz mentioned earlier, alongside Caicedo's kind of giving him that balance where he looks like he can get a bit more freedom and go forward and create more, get in the box and score more. I think it's his best scoring season up to this point. So, you know, we're seeing the player that they bought for the 105 million, whatever it was. We're seeing that player now.
Well, he's been here 3 years at Chelsea, and, you know, this squad is very, very young, including that man there, and Santos. He's only 21, and he worked with Liam Rosenior, as it says, at Strasbourg. But going back to Enzo, you know, he has to be a captain in this team. He is an experienced player, even though he's not maybe massive in age, but he has to lead this group, and he has. And that player there, Santos, I love him. You give him the ball, he's comfortable in possession. As Wright said, he gives you that stability in front of the back line. Next to Caicedo, they're quite a little force, them two. So, as Wright said, he gives Enzo that chance to go forward, and they're starting to build a nice relationship.
How confident are you, as anybody can be about a Chelsea manager, given their longevity, that Liam Rosenior is actually quite possibly the man to take Chelsea back to where they want to go to?
I want a young English coach to succeed, and I want him to succeed. It's difficult. He's got a great young squad. He started very well. Will it be easy here tonight? No, like I said, Arsenal have lost 1 game here this season, and he hasn't got his full squad, but he'll give it a good go.
You know what I would say about him? I'd love his calmness. You know, if he could continue to get results with that kind of calmness, I think it's something that'd be good around Chelsea, because it's always quite chaotic around Chelsea, especially in the manager and the coach situation. So to get a manager like him coming in so calm, so in control for his age, for a club of this size, it's impressive, and you just hope that he can carry on doing it.
He's positive. I stood by the bench for a couple of games now. Everything that comes out of his mouth is positive. He wants his wingers to take people on. Everything, win it back as quick as possible, even if it's off of losing the ball, win it back. Everything's positive, positive. And he's getting this young group, a young side, to run and energy, and that's what he wants to see from them. So, you know, they're not going to make it easy here tonight.
I think it's interesting. I know he hasn't got the job full-time. You've got Michael Carrick at Manchester United, Liam Rosenior here.
Another calm person, a very calm person.
An England coach getting a chance at a big club. Noni Madueke against his old club, especially with Saka's injury against Cucurella. That's going to be fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah. And I think there was a little bit of something going on in the first game.
Definitely.
You know, from a couple of the players who were giving him a dig and that. So I think it's good for Mikel to play him, to go out there and prove to him again that he can be the match winner.
Cucurella is so annoying though. As a winger, I'd hate to play against him, but he did really well. Madueke's been given a chance, as you said, but he'll have a point to prove. He's positive as well. He wants to take people on the outside, which I think is really strong as well. I like that. You don't know which side he's going to go, but that will be a very good battle, him and Cucurella.
I think Cucurella's happy it's not Traore now of West Ham, isn't it? Because that was a man who didn't look very happy with life where Traore came.
Once Traore started to come towards him, it was so funny.
Everyone got scared, didn't they?
That was one of the best moments of the whole season. It really was. Madueke's got a chance. We said again, I make no bones about the fact, countdown to the World Cup. Madueke plays well in the next month. He knows what's at stake here.
Look, you've got an opportunity. You have to take them. You don't know when these opportunities come when you're in a squad like Arsenal. So you have to take that chance right now and, you know, keep that jersey. You only borrow it. Borrow it as long as you can.
Yeah, absolutely. Still teeming with rain here in North London. About 10 minutes till kick-off at the Emirates. Before we get underway, a chance to win a big jackpot with our ITV 7 football competition. Yeah, and it's easy to enter. You can download the ITV7 app or go to itv.com/ITV7 and answer 7 questions. Entry's free. You must be 18 or over to enter. The app is available on iOS and Android. You can only enter once per match, and entries close at kick-off. 5 players were just 1 answer away from winning £10,000 last time out. So if you think you can go one better, then do give it a go. Arsenal needed penalties against Crystal Palace to advance from the quarter-finals of the Carabao Cup. Tonight there will be extra time before penalties if aggregate scores indeed are level. No away goals in this competition. Got a bit of a light show here. I wonder if we've got a situation where Chelsea know they can't go chasing the game, because if they get caught on the break and 2 behind, that might be it. At the same time, Arsenal don't mind as long as it stays 0-0 on the night. It could be quite cagey, I suppose, is what I'm saying.
But I'm sure Liam Rosenior does want his team to have a go. They have to try and get back into it. But maybe with Cole Palmer and Esteval on the bench, he might keep it tight and look to use them as the game progresses.
I'd like to see Arsenal come out fast, to take some of those chances that we've been missing in early periods of the game, and try and get this game finished. See if we can take some of the chances that we should have taken at Chelsea.
Can I ask you in 20 seconds?
Yes.
Gyökeres.
Yeah, this is a perfect game for him. Slip, sliding, have shots, follow things in. See if you can nick a goal, get yourself on that, get yourself on a nice run. That's what he needs to do now.
He looks a little bit clumsy, but his goal-scoring record actually isn't at all bad, Karen. But he's got a bit of a mixed press, hasn't he?
Look, and if he's going to play against a back 3, he can get down the sides here today. There's going to be some opportunities for him. That's right, he says. Yeah. Follow up on everything, get yourself a little tap in, be alert, be alive in that box.
I fancy him tonight. I fancy him in the Cup tonight.
It's the League Cup semi-final. It's a London derby. There's so much at stake. So let's go up to the commentary box then and say good evening to Lee Dixon and Sam Matterface.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. Good evening, everyone. We're in the midst of a light show and the excitement about the place is palpable. Arsenal have skipped through to the last 16 of the Champions League. They've got a healthy lead in the Premier League and they have a goal advantage in this semi-final. A terrific first leg which ebbed and flowed, where Arsenal threatened to get away, but Chelsea kept reeling them in. And the new Blues boss, Liam Rosenior, has started to establish his young Chelsea side as the comeback kids. They did it in Naples, they did it at the Bridge at the weekend when they came back from 2-0 down at half-time against West Ham, and they have to come back tonight if they want to go through. to Wembley. Can they do it again this evening? Can they stop Arsenal getting through to their first cup final since 2020? You'll find out next. Well, Arsenal have not lost to Chelsea for a long time, and a jam-packed Emirates Stadium certainly doesn't expect that to change tonight. The Gunners make 3 alterations from the win at Leeds on Saturday. Jesus and Gyökeres both scored at Ellen Road, but Gyökeres is the one that keeps his place. Kepa Arrizabalaga saved the key penalty from Maxence Lacroix in the last round and continues as the cup goalkeeper. Eze hasn't started in the Premier League since the 6th of December, but he starts tonight. No Odegaard for Arsenal either, and no Cole Palmer, Reece James or Pedro Neto for Chelsea this evening. The latter two are injured. Moises Caicedo missed the first leg through suspension. He'll be key to any midfield contest. He was sent off against Arsenal in the Premier League in November. We think it's going to be a back three for the first time since joining Arsenal for Liam Rosenior. He regularly used that system when he was at Strasbourg. A fight to the finish. Chelsea came back from 2-0 and 3-1 down in the first leg. They remain within touching distance of Arsenal. They've overturned deficits over the last week. They will hope they can do it again, but Arsenal are hoping to move a step closer to their first League Cup triumph since 1993. Terrific atmosphere and a sense of anticipation. Peter Banks, the referee tonight. We do have VAR. We could have the possibility of extra time before penalties tonight. It could be a long night. It could be a cracking night. Lee Dixon was in the squad the last time that Arsenal won the League Cup. Arsenal just couldn't quite shake off Chelsea in the first leg. How did they do so tonight?
Wow, was it that long ago?
Only feels like yesterday.
I mean, the first game was a really, really good game. Brilliant contest. Hopefully we get the same again. I think it's perfectly poised because, as Karen said before the game, Chelsea have to come out at some point and attack. But I don't think they'll do it early on. I think they'll just sit back a little bit and bide their time. Only one goal in it. But it's beautifully poised.
Certainly is, and we'll get an indication of how Chelsea are going to approach it as well. It does look as if they're starting with 5 strung along the back, with Gusto playing at right wing back and Cucurella at left wing back. It's an interesting system. What will be the motivation for Liam Rosenior doing that?
Well, I think it enables the 2 wing backs to get really tight onto the pace of Martinelli and Madueke. I think they'll be quite wary of those two, and Cucurella is one of the best at getting tight to people, and as they said before, quite annoying to play against. And on the other side, Gusto's a good footballer, but he'll have his work cut out on the pace front with Martinelli on that left-hand side. So I think that might be in his thinking, and then the other 3 in the middle can just check for runners, because they've only got Gyökeres to deal with, the 3 of them.
As I mentioned before, it was a system that he used regularly when he was at Strasbourg, Liam Rosenior, but he's only used it in-game, not started with it since moving to Chelsea.
Well, what it does mean is that Arsenal at times will have an extra man in midfield if they so wish. Zubimendi, we know how deep he likes to drop, and Declan Rice also, but Eze's the one. It's a big game for him, really is.
Have been few and far between in the Premier League since that game away at Aston Villa. But he's in the team tonight. Played a couple of the Champions League games at the end of the league phase, where Arsenal had already secured qualification to the last 16. Both these 2 teams finished in the top 8 of that competition. Arrizabalaga played in the League Cup final for Chelsea. Well, there was an era in which a visit from Chelsea to the Emirates would unsettle Arsenal. physically bullied by Drogba, unhinged by Hazard, gutted by Giroud in Baku. But it has been 4.5 years since Chelsea beat Arsenal in any competition, in any stadium. And if they were to progress tonight, Chelsea would be only the 3rd team in history to reach a League Cup final after losing the first leg at home. The odds firmly stacked in Arsenal's favour.
Yeah, what the Chelsea players have to deal with is the amount of changes that's going on at the moment. I think it was 6 or 7 at the weekend. There's been a chunk tonight as well. And that just can upset a little team. I mean, they played 2 teams at the weekend, didn't they? The first half and the second half, because the first half, I think all 11 of them could have come off. It was so bad.
That's not a great pass back to Robert Sanchez, who had a difficult first leg at Stamford Bridge. Gabriel is captaining the team tonight in the absence of Martin Ødegaard. Short for Timber, and then there's a collision between Cucurella and Timber. Referees allow play on because Enzo Fernandez has the ball. João Pedro turning into Saliba. Andre Santos. Arsenal cruise past Leeds at the weekend. There's 6 points clear at the top of the Premier League table. They've been involved in 4 5-goal thrillers, though, in recent weeks. The first leg of this game, Kairat Almaty in the Champions League. Manchester United, when they came here 10 days ago, the Bournemouth game. Only half of them went Arsenal's way. This is Martinelli. Lovely turn and run, and he's got space for Madueke on this near side, but he's being harassed by Caicedo.
Yeah, he should have gone earlier. The ball was on. Madueke had made the space. The grass was there for him to pass it into. It just took a little bit too long on it, Martinelli.
Chelsea have come out with a good shape, and they've started aggressively.
At times when they've got the ball at the back and in midfield, Chelsea have got 5 strung across Arsenal's back line, so one of the midfield players has to go back. Zubamendi or Rice has to go back and help out.
Here's Martinelli again, trying to take on Fofana, who's gone out to meet him. Campio's got on the overlap, but the ball's gone central. Anticipated by Saliba. And Arsenal on the front foot again with a swashbuckling Timber. Sanchez under pressure from Gyökeres. Chelsea unnecessarily inviting a little bit of danger.
I know a certain person pitch side who might have thrown himself at that challenge.
Talking of throwing himself at challenges, Jurrien Timber has been all action in the first few minutes of the game, and those two, Cucurella and Timber, have come to blows on a couple of occasions. That was one of them.
Yeah, looking for a bit of help from the referee's assistant there. Didn't get him. Yeah, keep your eye on that.
There's a few niggles in the first leg between these two. Of course, if you were watching the Premier League game between these two back in November, that was quite spicy as well. Moises Caicedo being sent off in the first half. Chelsea taking the lead, then paid back by a goal from Mikel Merino. Here's Liam Delap trying to capitalise on a bit of an error inside the penalty area by Arsenal.
Yeah, Saliba just tried to intercept it, and it looked like he was trying to pass it to Zubamendi. Actually, it was probably a bad touch, but Zubamendi a little bit on his heels there. Can't afford that in the box.
Zubamendi's been pretty good in an Arsenal jersey, but he did make an uncharacteristic mistake in the game against Manchester United 10 days ago.
I think that's the first one I've seen him make, to be fair. He's been pretty heroic since he's come. He's settled into this team brilliantly well. He loves to drop deep, and that's sometimes you get caught with the ball in that area. But a sloppy pass for him. There's quite a few sloppy passes in that Manchester United performance, to be honest with you, unlike Arsenal.
Ward back at the weekend, and Zubamendi actually unlocked the game at Ellen Rowe with the opening goal. With a brilliant header from a very good Madueke cross, and he'd just stepped in for the injured Saka, who'd picked up an ailment in the warm-up ahead of that game at Ellen Road at the weekend. That's why Saka's not involved tonight.
It's a great position from Eze. First time we've seen him in that little 10 role just beyond the midfield, linking play up.
This is Nkapio. Now Gabriel. Chelsea's back five as soon as Arsenal retreat into their own half, pushing up to the halfway line. Rosenior has only lost once as Chelsea boss. Guess who that was to? The man standing across from him tonight in the home dugout, Mikel Arteta and his Arsenal team. Apart from that, he has won 6 of his 7 games as the Chelsea head coach. And all 6 of his domestic games, weirdly, have been London derbies, so he's been thrown in at the deep end. Position that Liam Delap is taking up over far on the right-hand side, Lee. With João Pedro being the point man through the middle and Enzo Fernandez almost playing in a sort of half-left position.
Yeah, Gusto pushes up, plays the mirror position from Fernandez into that inside right position. So they have like 5 up front, as you said, Delap on that right-hand side.
João Pedro doing well to emerge away from Saliba. He's in good form at the moment, João Pedro. Cucurella, blocked by Urian Timber. Madueke trying to get over, and he was very physical with Cucurella. Cucurella didn't quite like it, but referee saw no problem.
He did well there, Cucurella, to get up, because he could quite easily have taken the tumble and just stayed down there and tried to get a foul given or a booking made. It was a fierce challenge after the ball had gone.
Madueke just ingratiating himself again to the Arsenal crowd. They certainly have taken to him now after all that nonsense when he first signed. He has made a real impact in an Arsenal jersey. Looked dangerous. He got an assist at the weekend and he was credited with a goal as well, eventually.
Thomas Tuchel's a big fan as well, so watch that space. It's interesting what you said, Sam, about Chelsea pushing up that 5 when Arsenal have got the ball. Gyökeres isn't really the one to run a back 3 into the channels for me. That's not his game. He's big and strong and he's relatively quick when he gets going, but it's not his game. So Arsenal with their wide men needs an out-to-in run, or they need a midfield player to make a run, and Eze's in a prime position for that. Haven't seen him do it just yet. Not prepared to go beyond that back line, but at some point they need to stretch Chelsea.
Madueke. From both sides, from Cucurella and from Enzo Fernandez. Madueke did lose his boot in that exchange. Malo Gusto coming infield to pick up the ball. Andre Santos, Enzo Fernandez. Madueke still hasn't been able to put his boot on yet. A little flick by Malo Gusto, but it's well read by Saliba. Tidied up by Arida Balaga.
Good position from the goalkeeper, that, because that could have been a bit of a foot race there. But he's in a great spot, just on the edge of his box for any loose balls going through.
Delap hanging out on that right-hand side and trying to cause trouble for Piero Nkapio. Not entirely sure there was much difference between that challenge and some of the other robust collisions we've had so far, but the free kick has been given for Arsenal.
Still not got his boot on.
It's difficult to do those shoelaces up there when you've got gloves on.
There lies your problem. Don't get me going on gloves.
Got yours was on tonight. None for Liam Rosenior, though, and the glasses have gone as well because of the weather, I think. Mikel Arteta and Liam Rosenior both played one another in an FA Cup final, would you believe? Arsenal against Hull 2014. Arteta was the Arsenal captain. Hull took a 2-0 lead in that game inside the first 10 minutes, Steve Bruce's side, and Arsenal had to mount a stunning comeback, and they eventually did that in extra time. Aaron Ramsey gets the winning goal. Liam Rosenior actually was forced off in extra time, injured during that FA Cup final. And the FA Cup is the one honour that Mikel Arteta has won as the Arsenal boss, and semi-finals have been a bit of an issue for Arsenal since then. They're in a commanding position in this game, and actually talking to Ian Wright beforehand, he was suggesting that they probably should have been in a more commanding position after that first leg.
It's been cagey.
Just a bit.
Both sides. Obviously, Chelsea are the ones that have got a really good shape and are just holding lines and not necessarily going on a full press. And they're just saying to Arsenal, how are we going to get through us? At the moment, they're finding it difficult to break that blue line at the back.
Eze might be the one to do that. Trying to feed Martinelli, who's collided with Moises Caicedo. Well, he brings that bite to midfield, Moises Caicedo. Him and Declan Rice, between them, probably two of the biggest competitors in that middle area of the pitch. They rarely come into each other's orbit, but they're amongst the best midfield players in the Premier League right now. Elite ball-winning distribution. Caicedo, in particular, has added more than his fair share of goals this season. Here's Rice, picking out Martinelli. Fana goes across to him. Gusto backing him up. Martinelli's got Gyökeres and Eze in the centre. Madueke's come in as well. Instead of getting the ball in, he's gone wider down towards the corner flag, and Arsenal reset.
Yeah, he's got to sling that in as soon as he gets it on his left foot. Arsenal have 5 players in the box.
Madueke trying to tease his way past Cucurella. Bundles him off the ball. And it was Cucurella who was involved in a collision with him where he lost his shoe, but now the boot's on the other foot. Yeah,
he did well. He redeemed himself. Looked like he'd been done for pace there. Showing him down the line, Madueke said, right, I'll have that invitation. Looked like he was just going to toe poke it past the defender, but fair play to him. He's a tenacious little full-back.
Well, they are the set-piece kings, and I know that Daniel Farke was trying to limit the number of corners that they gave away, but watch what Chelsea are doing here. They've sent 3 players sprinting forward up to the halfway line just before the kick was about to be taken. The referee has now thwarted their plan because he's blown to have a word with the Arsenal and Chelsea players colliding in the centre.
No, he's not thwarted it. They've still got 3. It's taken 3 players out the box that would normally be in and around the box, and I like that. I think that's really good management, bit of coaching. Do you know what? Take somebody out the box and put them at the other end, and that's exactly what Arsenal have had to do. 28
goals from set pieces. Ball in towards Nkapie this time, and it goes out for another corner. I did think that Chelsea wanted the element of surprise there, though, Lee. Yeah. No, it was taken away from them.
Absolutely, yeah, element of surprise. It'd be interesting to see whether they do it again. You might have been spot on with that, but I've said time and time again, if players like to do corners...
Was there a hand here from Fofana?
Yeah, there is, but it's not a handball, if that makes sense. He's kind of leaning towards it, there's nothing doing. And they're doing it again, so you just watch now who has to come back. They have to put 3 back as opposed to 1, so that's good coaching, that.
Ball into the near post. I don't know where Sanchez was going, but he wasn't going to get the ball. Luckily for him, Chalobah got it away. Here's Eza. Nkapie trying to get a shot away, saved by Sanchez. It comes back to Gabriel. And Arsenal would have preferred that to fall at the feet of Martinelli or Gyökeres.
Well, it's a spectacular save. Nkapie just letting his left foot go. When you see it there, you think maybe he should be catching that as a keeper. And maybe a little bit lucky that it's gone to the feet of Gabriel and he can't quite return it back to the goal. I mean, it's a decent save. It's one that he should make. He gets a bit lucky with the rebound, but I mean, doing that from the corner doesn't guarantee Arsenal don't score, but it does do something different to them, which is what you're trying to do, upset their rhythm.
Yeah, I think it's worth explaining that again, that just before Arsenal took those corners, Chelsea had 3 players dart to the halfway line out of the box to try and pull Arsenal players away. I don't think you saw that on the coverage there, but that is definitely what happened. They try to move people right up to the halfway line. And they wanted the element of surprise the first time, and I think Jarell Harto was leading that, was a little bit upset that they lost the element of surprise the first time around. But they repeated it for the second and third corners.
Yeah, the referee didn't do him any favours there, did he?
Another set piece for Arsenal, who have had a lot of the ball in the last 5 minutes. Headed away by Chalobah. Picked up by Cucurella, a heavy touch, which gives possession back to Arsenal.
Tell you what you might see in the next coming weeks from corners that Arsenal get, the same thing, because I had a conversation with a friend of mine a while ago about corners and teams that are really good at them. I said just put 4 up front and they've got to leave 5 back, goalkeeper 6, somebody taking the corner 7. That means they've only got 4 players in the box. I tell you, it's worth having a look at, and it's well played from Mr. Rosenior.
And whether he takes credit for it or the credit goes to Bernardo Cueva, who is the set-piece coach. We'll maybe have to inquire a little bit later on, but certainly was something different to try and thwart the set-piece kings of Europe. And Chelsea defensively are going to have to try and find a way to keep Arsenal out, as they can't afford to concede the first goal. Martinelli in behind that high line, pulls it back, looking for Eza. Didn't quite reach his intended target, but that's the first time we've seen them spring that back line.
Yeah, big long ball over the top. They've not been able to do that with the shorter balls, but on that occasion, Kepa pinging it 60, 70 yards to Martinelli running into that channel. Really good ball. There's another coming together. Cucurella's having to go at everybody at the moment, or banging into everybody, should we say, bumping.
Cucurella and Zubimendi have just gone down. And the VAR is just having a quick look at it. I don't think it's any more than that. But in the last 13 months, he has sent off Peter Banks, Cucurella twice, and Robert Sanchez. Just have a look at the bottom of your screen.
He knew what he was doing. He knew he was running into him and stopping him. Mind you, he could get sent off in a telephone box on his own, Cucurella, couldn't he?
Zubimendi that was holding him on that occasion. Here's Chalobah trying to dig out a clearance, looking for Gusto. The imposing Gabriel outmuscles him. Might be in a bit of a gap here for Martinelli. It was a brave header from Trevor Chalobah. Sanchez to Chalobah. Wasn't the most confident of passes. Chalobah dealt with it. João Pedro did well to get in front of Saliba. That's a free kick.
What a touch that is from João Pedro. No right to win that. Saliba was there first, but his foot just poked out at the right time, took a brilliant touch and then got fouled. Just that touch there, absolutely superb. There's the tug.
Caicedo, Bit of space for Enzo Fernandez and a bit more for Cucurella down this left-hand side, who is not the most popular man at the Emirates Stadium. I don't think he minds that. Chalaba. Fofana has worked that out to Delap.
Gabriel asked Rosenior about 2 up top, didn't he? And he said maybe. Well, it's at times 3 up top, but they're nowhere near together. One on the left. Delap's played basically on that right touchline, and he's made a couple of decent runs, you know, behind Nkapie, but just hasn't had the service.
We haven't had the goalmouth action that maybe we had in the first leg yet, and we've only played 23 minutes, but it has been intriguing, hasn't it?
Yeah. Chess match going on at the moment. It will open up even more as the game goes on. A few mistakes here and there. The pitch is quite slippy.
Chelsea quite happy to keep it as tight as possible, then maybe unleash some of their more creative talents from the bench later on. It's a cup tie, it's knockout football. It's all about trying to find a way to get to Wembley. It does feel quite tense and on a knife edge at the moment. First goal is so important in this tie. By Declan Rice to Kepa Arrizabalaga. His 5th start in the League Cup this season. Also started the game at Fratton Park in the FA Cup and the one against Kairat. This is Zubamendi.
Kepa just gave Gabriel a ball there, and he had a little look over his shoulder when he passed it, as if to say, don't do that again. Had no time at all.
Chelsea have got the press on here. Madueke comfortable dealing with the ball. Kepa doesn't mind at his feet. Now Pedro lost his feet. It's not great from Declan Rice. Straight to Andre Santos. Delap. Caicedo. Wants to shape that out to Malagusto. Santos. Enzo Fernandez. Andre Santos again. Malagusto now coming in from right wing back into the centre of the park. He is Mr. Utility, is Malagusto. Delap's cross steered behind. It's going to go out for the first Chelsea corner of the game.
That's decent play from Chelsea. Good possession, spread out all over the pitch. They are in equal numbers, so there's always 2 or 3 passes on when a blue shirt gets it.
He hasn't quite found his goal-scoring rhythm, Liam Delap, at the top of the Chelsea formation. He played the 90 at the weekend. He was really good in the game against Fulham in the Premier League. Only scored twice this season, but his hold-up play in that game at Craven Cottage was particularly impressive, and he's got a different role tonight. He will be a physical threat from these set pieces. Flown in towards that near post. It was Chelsea who got the first contact on it. Fofana couldn't head it towards goal. That's away from Gabriel. Comes back out to Chalaba. He scored against Arsenal in the league game earlier in the season, but he was miles away that time. Pinched by Cucurella. Madueke was on the floor. The referee wasn't going to give the foul until there was an intervention from, I think, one of his assistants.
Mikel Arteta absolutely furious with this tackle. It wasn't actually that bad. Maybe just clipped him, but it looked worse than it was, and certainly Mikel's view looked like he stamped on the back of his Achilles. But he's kept him pretty quiet, hasn't he? Cucurella. Madueke's had one little run down the outside that he lost the tackle to. But other than that, not really had that much of the ball.
Mikel Arteta, who's not the shy and retiring type. Doesn't mind expressing his views on the touchline. Most of the younger managers are a bit like that. He's very passionate, he's desperate to win. You speak to him and you get that steely feeling that he feels as if this is the time. They've, I think, strategically plotted their way through the season so far, Arsenal. Sometimes they've been accused of being a little bit pragmatic and cautious in games, but they've managed the season well so far. They do have a 6-point lead at the top of the tree. They could be going all the way in this competition. They are competing on all 4 fronts.
Well, from the outside and a fan's point of view, if they don't win it from here, then they never will. But having been there at times and lost league run-ins, I know how difficult it can be, and we saw that against United. There was just a hint of nerves in that game, and I think they lost that game because of feeling those horrible feelings you get when you start giving the ball away and start losing impetus, and then the team you're playing against plays well and beats you, and then the response against Leeds was absolutely emphatic.
He said he had a beautiful meeting with his players last week in which he talked about the title charge, the quadruple quest being a moment to be enjoyed rather than endured.
Well, I can guarantee I never had a beautiful meeting with George Graham, ever. Arsene, couple.
Yeah. Contract ones usually, I would imagine.
Not with George.
Fafana got away with one there, just about. Martinelli still nipping at the heels of Gusto. He wasn't going to give up, Martinelli, was he? Here's Liam Delap. Malagusto, offside flag has stayed down for now. Sent in towards Enzo Fernandez. It didn't quite reach him. I think the offside flag would have gone up anyway.
That's a poor cross from Gusto. It's a really good move. He gets in a load of space. All you've got to do is lift it, put some bend and whip on it, yes, but you'd have to miss the first defender.
João Pedro was in such a good position by the penalty spot, unmarked as well, and if he had seen that movement from the Brazilian, that would have been the ball.
Well, you don't even have to see anything. You just need to put it into the area and just expect somebody to be there. But just miss the first defender at all costs.
Rice. Urian Timber. Arsenal probably need to get a little bit more from Victor Gyökeres in the game. He's only touched the ball once so far in the opening 31 minutes.
Is that the kickoff? He's not had any supply, to be honest with you. Not had anything. They've not tried to get him in. Or I think if it was 0-0 and they're trying to win the game, Arsenal, I think they're just being a bit too cautious with the side passing because they never really look up to lift it over the top.
He was just running in between Fafana and Chalobah, and Timber declined the invitation to play the ball through the middle. They've gone wide to Madueke instead. It's cannoned off of blue shirts before Chelsea try and emerge with João Pedro's foul. Not that the Arsenal fans think that's the right decision from Peter Banks.
Tell you what, he does hold the ball up well, doesn't he? He's got really good feet. He's strong, he gets his legs in the way, takes hits.
It's Gabriel Jesus under all that wet gear. Next to Ricardo Calafiori, about to come out to do their first warm-up. Might be a game for Gabriel Jesus. He might be the one who can sprint in behind if necessary.
Tell you what, as a sub, that 30-minute mark, and it's raining, it's not the shout you want. Go and have a little run up the touchline. You just want to stay where you are.
You weren't a sub that often, were you?
No, but when I was, I didn't like that 30-minute warm-up.
Kukurea and Madueke, former teammates, getting very well reacquainted.
Chelsea defensively are going to have to do a job to keep Arsenal out. Chelsea, a team that have kept just 2 clean sheets in their last 13 games, and that was against Paphos in the Champions League and Brentford in the Premier League, who they gave a bundle of chances to that day. The Bees probably should have scored at Stamford Bridge that afternoon. The other thing that Chelsea do regularly is score goals. They've registered in 35 of their last 36 games. Facing the best defence in Europe, and here's Martinelli speeding through and trying to test Chelsea. Good turn, Gusko kept with him and stuck to his task, and it's a vital block.
Well, he made up for it because he got caught out. Just look at his positioning. Turns his back on the ball. You cannot do that. You don't know where it is. He gets done on the inside, but to be fair to him, he gets back, and that block there has just stopped a goal probably. Well, little lesson to full-backs out there. If you turn your back on the ball, you're in no man's land.
Excellent from Gabriel. Arsenal just starting to find their rhythm, and Chelsea have got to remain concentrated. Gyökeres has had more touches now. And Capier, on an offside position, is reluctant to pick hold of the ball there, and eventually, as soon as he touches it, the flag goes up.
Yeah, he finds himself on that left wing, desperate to get on his right foot. Thinks he's found a little gap, but then it all closes in on him. Game of few chances at the moment. Still interesting to watch though. Plotting the way through midfield, trying to find a way for Delap on the right. Cucurella's more or less playing as a left winger.
Delap. Flick on, hoping that Enzo Fernandez was going to burst beyond him. He didn't quite do that. Remember, if Chelsea were to equalise, and it was 3-3 at full time, on aggregate we would have extra time tonight and penalties. Extra time introduced for the first time in the Carabao Cup at this stage of the competition. Previously all the rounds 90 minutes and then straight to penalty kicks. Could just give us a little bit more to enjoy this evening.
Goal would be nice though, wouldn't it?
Saliba, it's given it straight to Andre Santos, and now Chelsea looking to get forward. Delap going through the middle, but the pass was too close to Gabriel. Chelsea will have to be a lot more accurate and precise if they're going to pierce the stubborn resistance of Gabriel and Saliba. Enzo Fernandez. Delap again peeling out to the right-hand side. He's controlled it well. I think there was a handball there for Fana. Santos. Coming short was Enzo Fernandez. Chelsea just being a little bit careful in possession, just making sure that they get a bit of a feel of the ball. Just taking a little bit of steam out of the Arsenal attack, which has just started to build up a little bit of momentum. A couple of opportunities in the last 10 minutes or so. Timber's header away. Zubimendi helps it on. Gusto will get there first. Delap dispossessed by Nkapia. Martinelli can go on a run. Fofana is trying to match him stride for stride, and well, he got there very quickly.
How quick did he look then? Martinelli had a bit of a run on him then. Nothing doing.
That speed of acceleration, Wesley Fofana, and at his very best is a terrific defender. came off the bench at the weekend. A delightful assist for João Pedro. Good ball by Fernandes. Harto wandering forward into a central position. He did that quite a lot at the weekend. João Pedro. Enzo Fernandes. Chelsea again just carefully keeping the ball in opposition territory, not forcing the issue. All the while they're in possession, they know that they can't concede. They'll wait patiently for their opportunity.
Some of their build-up plays really attractive. They're knocking it about really nicely and keeping patient. There's no real massive press from Arsenal when they're doing that, so making it a little bit easier for them. But I think Rosenior will be quite happy with what he's seen. Like a goal, obviously, but from Arsenal's point of view, their passing is pretty good. 1, 2, 3 foot. The third one and the fourth one's got to go long. They've got to have some movement going forward into that gap behind that back line. We're not getting that at the moment.
Martinelli trying to escape past two defenders. Alvarez had tried to bend his run in between where Fofana was and where Chalobah is. Chelsea emerge with the ball. Not enough pressure on the ball from Arsenal.
Declan Rice just sitting off Gusto then. He saw him running into space, didn't want to commit. And 2 balls on the pitch.
That happened just a moment ago, actually, and Liam Delant picked it up and kicked it out into the crowd, but it's been thrown back on from that end. It's the second time that's happened.
My favourite thing of all time now, an uncontested drop ball.
Oh, you like those, do you?
Just,
Well,
I mean, they should be banned.
You've got a little bit of
should be taken out of the game. It's not allowed.
Well, you want 2 players kicking
yeah,
7 bells out of each
full
other.
contest on.
Like the old days.
Just because they're old doesn't mean to say they were bad.
Who said that? Sanchez forward. Chelsea 4 in the attack, up against 4 Arsenal bodies. João Pedro. Saliba is pulling on his shirt. Now Delap.
Again, really good hold-up play, João Pedro. Very rarely loses the ball, doesn't he?
I think he's quite like the change of manager. He seems to have thrived under Liam Rosenior. He's got 12 goals so far this season, but 5 in 6 games that he's featured in since the new coach took over. And Chelsea have won a corner. And that's the patience, that's where it comes from. You keep the ball in those areas, something might happen, something might fall for you.
Well, that 3 at the back just enables those 3 to move across the pitch. And Madueke doesn't go back with Cucurella. He causes a problem at left wing, dragging one of the centre-backs out into that position.
Well, the first goal is going to be absolutely vital. If Chelsea get it, it's going to be game on. If Arsenal get it, it might be game over. It's Chelsea on the attack here, with Enzo Fernandez signalling his intent. His delivery is right under Kepa Arrizabalaga, who gets a good punch on it. There is a bit of encouragement for Chelsea. It is the fact that despite all of their good work defensively, high standards at the back have dropped maybe a little bit in recent weeks. 14 goals conceded Arsenal in the last 12 games. Chelsea need to hope that they are on the score sheet sooner rather than later.
See that one, every now and again Declan Rice can have a little look up, just launch one over the top, because it's all set up for the small short passes. The back line of Chelsea is just set, they know it's not coming long, they can afford to press from midfield, just upset it a little bit, going long every now and again.
is Saliba. It's a good challenge by Caicedo, and then Enzo Fernandez in a bit of space and ready to hit it. He does hit it, and he tests the gloves of Kepa for the first time. Gusto trying to keep it alive, but fell at the last moment, and Eze trying to get clear. Chelsea haven't had any chances really in the first 45, but that's got to be the best of the ones that they've fashioned.
Yeah, it was really good play from Harto. Got in a really tight spot, and he just played that little ball there, Cucurella, straight out of his feet. He had time and space, and he almost dived past it, Kepa. Wasn't an awful lot of pace on that. I mean, it's an easy save for him. Again, one of them that you perhaps in training would just catch.
Well, Enzo Fernandez is actually in a very good spell in terms of attacking. Wise, he scored the winner at the weekend. 3 goals in his last 3 games. He's got 11 for the season. 4 assists already this campaign. He got 17 assists last season. It's well won by Pedro. Well, apparently not, according to Peter Banks. Just a slight heart-in-mouth moment from Jurrien Timber.
We have to say that Chelsea's formation is working, because Martinelli now and again has had a run. Madueke's hardly had anything. Cucurella, as soon as the ball comes over to this side, if he's in the left-back position, he's as tight as you like.
Here's Eze, trying to get on the end of that free kick and just couldn't quite connect with it, wouldn't fall for him. The run was the right one. Pedro again.
Brilliant. That is brilliant, you have to say. So tight, so many players around. The touch is impeccable.
He's got in the way. And Caicedo is explaining that he thinks that that should be his ball. Andre Santos just nicked it. Not necessarily sure that that was the wisest thing to do, but he might just get away with it. And you get a second helping of the uncontested drop ball.
Yeah, another ban.
1 minute added time at the end of the first 45. Tight and tense first 45 minutes in which Chelsea have been quite happy to keep Arsenal at arm's bay. Fernandez. And again Fernandez looking for a way through. Chelsea find it with Caicedo and Santos, and Pedro's out the other side. Cucurella. Harto. Caicedo looking for Cucurella again. And we just wonder whether or not if he had allowed that to run across his body, he might have been in.
Yeah, he should have took it himself, I think. Good half from Chelsea.
Chelsea came back from 2 goals down on Saturday. Tonight the margin that they have to reverse is just 1. And the game feels as if it's on a knife edge, really. Arsenal have held sway in meetings between the two in recent years, but the Blues have a chance to change that in the second half, and they have to if they want to get to Wembley. Arsenal lead on aggregate, but it's 0-0 on the night at half-time.
0-0 at half-time. It's pretty much stopped raining. No goals yet, so Arsenal still 1 in front on aggregate. Very noticeable, wasn't it, what happened with the early corner?
Yeah.
In that Arsenal, having scored from an early corner at Stamford Bridge,
yeah,
when they had so many men forward, that Chelsea had twigged that. This is Stamford Bridge 3 weeks ago. Look how many Arsenal players are in there.
Yeah.
7, including 1 on the edge of the box.
It's congested, isn't it?
28 set-piece goals to Arsenal this season,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of traffic. Sanchez can't get anywhere near it. Ben White scores. They twigged that, hadn't they, when it came to this evening?
Oh yeah, because what we see is Fofana and Delap just on a signal, they just go. You know what I mean? I've seen this before. I've seen Olympiacos do this to Arsenal and Monaco. I think even Brighton done it as well. I'm surprised that people haven't done it more, but like at the same time, it's still a good ball in. It was still nearly a really good corner.
Obviously, you see there the set-piece coach signaling people back. If they obviously put more Chelsea players higher up, he has to pull Arsenal back, which means it's less chaotic when the corner goes in. But you have to defend 1v1 better now. But obviously, you said there's such a threat from set-pieces. That's an option for them.
Is there Arsenal attacking this goal in this first half? Was there a little bit of space here that Arsenal failed to exploit?
Frustrating, yeah. It was also evident in the first leg where Fofana, if you can pull him out, there's that space there. But if you can keep pulling Fofana out, there's a huge gap in behind. Didn't really play it then, missed the opportunity, but it is constantly on because of how Chelsea play. They're so aggressive and player for player. Bang, there, play it. There's the space, they're high, utilise it, play it earlier, play it quicker. You'd be screaming for it.
I'd love that, because what's happening is in the build-up, because the build-up is slow, Fofana does want to follow, whoever his man is, he wants to go in with him. If you watch him, and if I'm Zucker, I'm bending in behind him. I'm going to say to someone, when you've got time, watch when Fofana comes, I'm going to go.
So is Gyökeres not making that vocally obvious enough? Play me in, play the ball.
Well, to be honest, it's not only Gyökeres, it's the man on the ball as well, because once the space arrives, you can see it. It's blatantly obvious to see the space behind Fofana. Should just be looking to put that in there, because the way we're playing at the minute, we're not breaking through, we're not playing through the lines. That's a great way to get in against this Chelsea side.
Yeah. When we have a look at opposition touches in the opposition's penalty area, the 4 fewest are Arsenal's front 4. Fewest touches at all, not just in the box. Are Arsenal a bit too conservative tonight?
At the end of the day, they're winning this tie. They don't have to do anything. It's for Chelsea to come at them, and I think both teams are a little bit checking each other out. But that space is an opportunity where Arsenal can exploit in behind. It's not over touches, it's direct football. There's nothing wrong with that. But it is for Chelsea to come here and be a little bit more aggressive. They have Cole Palmer and Estevao on.
Yes.
They're in the game. They'll probably excuse them 60 minutes plus.
Well, that's what it feels like, doesn't it? On the hour mark, they need a goal. Those two in particular would have come on.
Yeah, but in fairness to both, Estevao's travelled back to Brazil for personal reasons, and Cole Palmer came in with the mask on, so he might be a bit ill, who knows. But I would not be surprised at some point if it's like this, they get used.
I do think, Kaz, as well, I think Chelsea, in the second half, they're going to have to step it up a little bit in respect of what they're doing, and maybe that might be a chance for Arsenal to break on them, maybe if they're in a transitional sense, and then be ruthless when they do break. But I think it's going to open up. It has to. It can't stay like this.
Leo Rosenior will be happy enough, won't he? Because they're still in the tie. They've got 45 minutes. So it takes a minute to score a goal and all
so long as it's 0-0 and they're still in it, if they can continue to frustrate and then get the ball in the box. I think Liam Delap, he's played Liam Delap like that for Hull, you mentioned, didn't you?
Yeah, he's playing right wing tonight, maybe because he hasn't got the wingers available with Neto and Cole Palmer and Estevao not being available potentially for 90, but he has played out there. And
the thing with him as well is that he will try and get it in the box if he gets half a chance. So we'll have to see if that tactic stays, because I would play him down the middle.
Yeah.
Just looking at the Arsenal bench, Jesus in an attacking sense, Trossard, Havertz, former Chelsea player. On a knife edge here at the Emirates, 0-0 at the break. Arsenal with their noses in front by 3-2. And the Madueke Cucurella battle, in fact the Cucurella battle against anybody in an Arsenal shirt, has been worth the entrance money alone. Our exclusive international rugby coverage for the year starts on Thursday night. Make a note of that this week. Six Nations holders France take on Ireland. England play Wales Saturday afternoon at Twickenham, both available ITV1 and STV, as is the Rugby Nations Championship this summer and this autumn. Also Thursday night, live Spanish Cup football, Real Betis against Atletico Madrid in the quarterfinals of the Copa del Rey, 7:55 ITV4. Cole Palmer is warming up, and he is the sort of player, of course, who can make something happen out of nothing. What do you reckon? If it's 0-0 after 60, 65 minutes, Ian?
Yeah, I think you probably see him, maybe Estevao as well. No, he's had his problems, but the fact is, the longer they could keep it like that, they can, I don't know. I personally, I'm going to go for it. I think Arsenal should be going for it as well. Leave it with no doubt. At the moment, I think we're a bit too conservative. I think we should be going for him a bit more and see if we can just get this done.
I just think Arsenal, Arteta, there's nothing wrong with it. He's just a no-risk manager. And at the moment, there's no need to him risk anything. The risk is more on Chelsea to get back into the game. And yeah, Cole Palmer, he's played 90 minutes. this week, so got under his belt. I suspect he'll feature.
But it's the risk for Arsenal. I take your point, of course they do, that one mistake, one bounce of the ball, one iffy refereeing decision, and without actually asking any questions, suddenly the tie is level, and then you have to change it.
I get that, but Declan Rice played a ball into midfield and it was given away, and Arteta straight away said, no, play it out wide, we don't play it in the central areas. And look, there's nothing wrong with it. You're top of the table in the Premier League. You're in 4 competitions. That's his style, and there's no snobbery to that. Might not be exciting, but that's my opinion of why he does what he does.
And the thing about that is, Kaz, is where as much I've got a lot of respect for that, but the fact is that to win leagues, to win games, at some stage you've got to show something, you've got to do something. And as much as I know we're still in this game with 1 game up, it seems to me like, are we trying to just hang on to that and take whatever we get, rather than going, getting it done, so as maybe we can get some rest for some of these players. I don't know.
You've got a great bench, righty, so we'll see. He might play that as well, but for now it's for Chelsea that need to get back into this game, and he's a key player, João Pedro.
Chelsea have not made a change at half-time. Arsenal's bench is so strong. If any of them played this Saturday against Sunderland in the league, you wouldn't bat an eyelid. We actually saw the next generation getting their shirts, the young scholars, and one of them was called Emerson Waneri, brother of Ethan. The production line continues.
It does, Good luck to Ethan as well.
Yes, good luck to Ethan in Marseille. Absolutely. Well, no changes to Arsenal at half-time. I'm going to go back up to the commentary box. If you absolutely love your football, you might have noticed that in the transfer window, Arsenal signed a right-back from Stoke called Dixon. And we can say that great Uncle Lee is absolutely thrilled. Here he is with Sam Matterface.
Towering centre-back who can play right-back, Jayden. Started at Tottenham, signed from Stoke in the window, signed as an 18-year-old yesterday. He probably didn't cost more than the last Dixon to come from Stoke, we worked out, but I reckon he's on more money than you were in 1988.
I can guarantee he's probably on more money than I was in 2002 when I retired.
I hate to tell you this, I actually think he did cost more than you as well.
Did he?
Only just.
Well, good luck to him.
It was 38 years ago, though, so inflation does count.
He's a towering centre-half as well, so the similarities end there.
Yes.
Good luck to him.
And he's definitely not a relation of Lee. And the fact that he's a towering centre-back probably tells you that. Mikel Arteta making no changes at half-time. Neither Chelsea, but almost a third of Chelsea's goals under Lee and Rosenior have been scored by substitutes. Alejandro Garnacho came off the bench and scored twice in the first leg. They do need a goal tonight. And these two teams are the most prolific teams across Europe straight after half-time, so keep your eyes peeled. Ian Wright wants Arsenal to go for it a bit more in the second half. Kaz Carney suggesting that Arsenal are plotting their course through the game, like plotting their course through the season quite strategically and methodically. How do you see it second half, Lee Dixon?
Yeah, I think knowing Mikel and the way that Arsenal do play the game, hang on a minute.
Here's João Pedro looking to try and find an early opening. Keeper can't stop it from going out for the first corner of the second half.
Yeah, I certainly don't think there's any reason to go for it too early in the second half from an Arsenal point of view. They are winning the tie. There wasn't a lot of chances from Chelsea's point of view in that first half, although Mikel will be a little bit disappointed how they passed the ball through the lines a couple of times, but no need to panic for either team right now.
Enzo Fernandez to take the corner at the start of the second half. There was a bit of pushing and shoving there, and it's bundled goalwards and deflected behind eventually off a Chelsea body. Yeah, they are going to just have a quick check here for a possible penalty. There was wrestling going on between Saliba and João Pedro in that penalty area, Lee.
Yeah, early on as well, before the kick was taken, they grabbed hold of each other. Just look at them there in the middle of the screen. They've both got hold of each other. Saliba goes down and he drags João Pedro with him, but before the corner was taken anyway, so, but nothing doing. VAR just ruling that out.
It's checked and cleared. Chelsea have only won one of their last 14 games against Arsenal. Reece James, Romelu Lukaku were on the score sheet the last time Chelsea beat Arsenal. Might need Esteval from the bench tonight. He's made a real effort to get back with the team after a trip to Brazil. fellow Brazilian Martinelli trying to cause problems for Chelsea, but it came to nothing.
Yeah, he was quick into the tackle on Chalobah. He read the situation. It does look like he's getting primed, doing his laces up. It's a bit of a sign.
He's a terrific talent, is Estaval. Very popular amongst the Chelsea support, still only a teenager, 18 years of age, 6 goals this season already. Had to go back to Brazil this week for personal reasons, missed the West Ham game. He will be a superstar. Scored a cracker against Palace the other week, didn't he? Scored the winner against Liverpool. Goal against Barcelona. Here's Madueke, bursting down that right-hand side, looking to get the better of Harto. Zubamendi. And Capio. Eze. Now Madueke teasing his way into a crossing position. It's a decent ball, maybe just a little bit too long. But he made room for the cross with a little dart inside, a bit of body swerving from Cucurella.
Yeah, very similar to the positions he took up at the weekend, just cutting in on that left foot and put a brilliant couple of balls in then. That one just a little bit overhit. But men in the box, it's a better start, and he didn't really have an awful lot of success in the first half.
Stalemate warming up. Leandro Trossard warming up for Arsenal, and Christian Norgard as well. Let's see. Palmer just starting to get ready down in front of us. I don't know whether that might have been a little bit premature, but Stalemate certainly getting primed, I think. João Pedro taking the ball out of the sky well. Wanted more from Enzo Fernandez. Gyökeres has got in front of Fofana.
That's better from Gyökeres. 3 touches in the first half already. That touch is the best one he's had all game. Nicely put into the channel with his chest and nearly put Martinelli away.
Urian Timber.
See, that's the one. Madueke comes short. Timber looks like he's going to play it and just whip it round down into the channel for Gyökeres. He's willing to make that run, but you've got to put the ball in there for him.
Lining with Capio. Caicedo getting it back to Chalobah. Finds a route to Fernandez, who's being handled by Zubamendi. Santos comes away with the ball. He actually was ready to go, and the referee then blew the whistle and gave Chelsea the free kick. Gusto. Oh, a little bit of a heavy touch, which almost gave it straight to Martinelli. Fofana comes to Chelsea's rescue. Pressure on from Caicedo. Good header from Harto. Another chance for Gyökeres to run. He tried to outmuscle Chalobah, but Harto was there on the cover. It's important for him to have a good evening tonight. He had a difficult game in the match at the weekend against West Ham. He wasn't the only one.
As I said, all 11 of them first half. Made some changes at half-time. There's a completely different Chelsea team in the second half. Completely different West Ham team, to be fair, as well. They dropped off and really invited Chelsea on top of them.
Martinelli trying to run down the side pass. Gusto just has to body check him. Tussle going on between the two. Martinelli's done well. He's back there helping out. And then in Capio, involving a wrestling match. Gabriel outwitting João Pedro. João Pedro pinching it back. Looks a bit more like it.
There's lots of booing going on from the Arsenal fans. I thought the refereed that pretty good there. Peter Banks, he just let stuff go. We want to see that. That is a foul.
Well, he's not going to let this go. He's going to come over and have a word with Mikel Arteta, and he's going to book him. Well, this is the reason why he's been booked. Have a look.
I don't know what was being said, but he seemed to have a smile on his face.
Well, the first bit looked quite happy, didn't it? I think there was a little bit more of that footage where it eventually goes a little bit more tense and terse, but maybe it's something he said.
Yeah, I think a lip reader would let us know what that was.
Cole Palmer and Esteban both warming up away to our left-hand side. Arsenal substitutes coming back now. Ben White amongst them. Norgard, Havertz, who was in the Chelsea team the last time that Chelsea beat Arsenal. It's a good turn from Enzo Fernandez. Chelsea captain comes forward again. Delap. As if he was pushed there by Gabriel, and he's generated a free kick, a good 8 yards outside the penalty area, in danger territory.
Too sure you need to tackle him there. He's not really going anywhere. Potentially a good angle for Fernandez to put this in a dangerous area.
Pretty good from set pieces, Chelsea. They've scored a few headed goals this season. Pedro Chalobah, who scored from a corner actually in the game in November between these two. Delap, Fofana, all up, ready to try and attack this ball from Enzo Fernandez. Takes in a huge gulper there. Swells it in towards that near post. It's headed away by Rice, and Arto is shut down by Eza very quickly. And now Arsenal looking for an escape route. And Liam Delap has taken Madueke out, and he's going to get booked for that.
Yeah, he's saying he didn't touch him. It looked like he did from here, but the referee's assistant wasn't that far away, so just about to have a look here. And didn't really have a lot of contact, was there? Maybe just put him off balance, and that's why he went down. There is some contact to his left leg, but I see what he was complaining about.
Cole Palmer and Esteban have just been called back by Liam Rosenior. Chelsea about to make a double change. Inviting a bit of pressure here, Arsenal, for no reason. Saliba gets away from Andre Santos. The crowd enjoyed that. And he bounced forward now. Madueke teasing into a crossing position. Trying to catch out Robert Sanchez. Never likely to do it from that sort of range.
You just need a little bit more quality from this position. As soon as you check in, you've got to deliver something. He's normally pretty good at that. Almost caught between a cross and a shot. These two changes that are coming on for Chelsea has to change the dynamics of any team, the quality they've got, the pair of them.
Chelsea playing the ball into the inside left channel, asking for João Pedro to run it. I'm not entirely sure sure who's going to ever beat Saliba there. Maybe Estevao might have been able to. Cole Palmer is being given the final instructions from his head coach. Gabriel. Touch by Fofana. Foul there. Set-piece instructions that are being handed out. Gabriel. Madueke. Gyökeres trying to outpace Chalobah. Interestingly, Chelsea are going to change the shape here because Delap, well, the plan was for Delap and Harto to come off, but Gusto has gone down here and they may have to rethink the substitutions now, Lee.
Yeah, he's got his hand on his stomach, or he's got some sort of... He's waving. He's waving at the bench as if to say, I need some assistance.
Maybe it's just a take on some energy gel, but they are preparing to bring on Estevao and Cole Palmer. And now it looks as if maybe they're going to bring somebody else back and make a triple change. Back on his feet again. It's a crucial time in the game. Chelsea know that one goal takes us to extra time. And at some point, they're going to have to take a risk in the match. They haven't done much of that so far. There is a 21 there somewhere, and Jarell Hato is coming off. You just can't quite see it on that fourth official's board. Estevao and Palmer on for Harto and Liam Delap. That is confirmed now. I think it's Joshua Champong who's getting ready just in case Malo Gusto has to come off. He's just readied himself now. Malo Gusto looks as if he's going to continue for now.
Estevao straight over to that left-hand side, having a little hug with Timber, which would never have happened in my day. Left winger coming on, giving him a hug. What's going on there? Anyway, different game now, isn't it?
It's just giving him the love. So that when he goes past him at rapid speed, maybe shows him a little bit of charity. Let's see what he can do. Always brings an edge of excitement to a game. And a handball from Cucurella. Madueke. Dancing forward, being chased by three in blue. It's pinched by Cucurella and cleared away towards João Pedro, but Saliba is there, a little slip from Estevao. Gusto back on, Gyökeres trying to get in behind Chalobah. Swede has taken a tumble, but the referee's not very forthcoming with a free kick.
So that looked like a foul from it. Again, we're 60, 70 yards away.
Well, we've hit the hour mark. We're awaiting the breakthrough in the game. Chelsea need a goal to stay in the tie and send it to extra time. A goal for Arsenal probably takes them to Wembley. managed games well so far. Liam Rosenior, his subs have made differences in matches. Let's see if they make a difference here. This is Cole Palmer, one of those. Emerging off the bench to try and influence the proceedings. Cucurella. Arsenal know if their defence holds firm and they continue with their great clean sheet record, then they'll be through to play under the arch on the 22nd of March. And Campier puts it behind. It was a good run actually by Malagusto. It's out for a corner.
Yeah, he was. Played the ball inside and then Campier just switched off a little bit. Gusto continuing his run. A little bit more pace on that ball inside the full-back and he's away.
Three on the penalty spot for Chelsea. One under the goalkeeper is João Pedro. Palmer is just trotting into the penalty area on the right side now. Correa is outside the box. It's Enzo Fernandez with a low delivery that travels a very long way. Cucurella tries to return it with interest. This is the target.
Yeah, he took his time as well. Setting himself, just couldn't quite get the bend on it.
They came off the bench at half-time at the bridge on Saturday at West Ham, made a material difference. Scored the equalising goal. Forward by Gabriel. Gyökeres with a flicked header. Knocked up by Cucurella again. That wasn't the best of balls by the Spaniard. Arsenal's squad depth sets them apart. They haven't had a shot for a very long time in this game now. Palmer to Enzo Fernandez to Esteban. Looking to put a thrill of excitement into the Chelsea fans. Sets it back for Enzo Fernandez again. He's had a couple of efforts from the edge of the area. The first one tested Kepa Arrizabalaga, that one didn't.
Yeah, they're just starting to knock on the door a little bit, Chelsea. Good play again down that left-hand side and not brilliant. Should be hitting the target from there. He's got plenty of time to set himself.
Is by not taking the game to Chelsea and powering away from them in that first half and almost sort of allowing the game to become quite cagey, it means that Chelsea now have got a puncher's chance.
Yeah, they've had that since the start of the game and it was obviously very cagey in the first half an hour of the game. It opened up a little bit, but ultimately as the game goes on, both sides will be encouraged because Arsenal, as it stays like this, going to Wembley, and Chelsea, as you said, if they did get a goal, it would change everything. And they're not risking everything in order to try and get that pressure on. They're just slowly starting to ease their way into the last third against Arsenal.
Mikel Arteta isn't particularly happy on the touchline. He's in close conference with Albert Stuyvenberg, one of his trusted assistants.
Yeah, you do feel the substitutions coming soon.
Gabriel being chased by João Pedro. And those two hoping to be in Carlo Ancelotti's Brazil squad for the World Cup. Ball sent forward towards João Pedro, who collides with Gabriel. The referee immediately gesticulates that there is no offence there.
Well, it didn't look like it, just looked like a natural coming together. We'll just about see it here. He just then puts an arm on his shoulder and he goes down immediately.
Checked by the VAR, James Bell. Well, he doesn't have Bukayo Saka, he's injured tonight. Mikel Merino picked up a foot injury at the weekend. But he does have one hell of a bench. He's added to his coaching staff in the summer. Gabriel Heinze, formerly of Manchester United and Real Madrid, is part of his team now, and he is going to bring on Kai Havertz. Zubamendi finding Gyökeres, trying to steer that centrally away by Gusto, not the best of headers, comes back to Nkapie. He flicks it towards Madueke, but it's an easy clutch for Sanchez.
Yeah, good throw out as well. Quick from the goalkeeper.
João Pedro.
Talked about Arsenal, you know, having a go and taking the game to Chelsea. I'm not too sure that they've got the capability of that tonight, because Chelsea look very, very well organised.
Gusto. Oh, he got away from Nkapie there. Did he dive? That's the big question. Yeah. Or was he fouled?
No, he dived and he knows it. That's why he's staying down a little bit sheepish, getting a yellow card for his troubles. He thought there was a challenge coming in. It didn't appear. There's the touch. There's the challenge coming in, nowhere near him. And he kind of knows it. Why did I do that?
Won't want to see that again.
No, he won't. He should be embarrassed.
Off comes Victor Gyökeres and on comes Kai Havertz, formerly of Chelsea, the man who scored the winning goal for Chelsea in the Champions League final of 2021. Now very much an Arsenal man. He actually has a really good goal-scoring record for Arsenal. Scored not too long ago in the Champions League for them on a return to action. Kai Havertz. First goal in nearly a year against Kairat. Adds a little bit of culture and class to the front line. Madueke's work is done for the night. He's going to be replaced by Leandro Trossard, who's come up with some big moments himself. His last goal in that statement win over Aston Villa. He's always coming up with big contributions and is very popular around here. So Chelsea have added 2 into their attack in Estevao and Cole Palmer, and Mikel Arteta has responded in kind with Trossard and Havertz. Gyökeres. Ball by Rice. Now Trossard. All the way for a throw-in. Interesting to see how that sort of reconfigured Arsenal attack shapes up. Looks like Martinelli's gone out to the right-hand side.
Yeah, they just swapped over. Trossard very comfortable on this left-hand side.
The greatest delivery from Rice, and Chelsea looking to escape here with Enzo Fernandez being chased by Zubamendi. Estevao's lost it straight to Jurriën Timber. Trying to get away from Estevao, who commits a foul. And he gets a yellow card for his troubles. He's got a little bit frustrated there, didn't he, the boy from Brazil?
Yeah, he's all over him, just about from now onwards.
Arsenal very well placed in 4 competitions right now. Top of the league, into the last 16 of the Champions League. They can park that for a little while. And they want to get to Wembley in this competition. He's trying to stop them. And if Chelsea are going to stop Arsenal from getting to the first League Cup final since 2018, then, well, they're going to need to find a goal. Trossard. Alejandro Garnacho scored twice off the bench in the first leg of this tie. He's about to get stripped and ready for action, I think. Might mean that Estevao comes out to this right-hand side and Garnacho goes out to the left. Rice spotted the run of Timber. Couldn't find the pass that was required to find him.
He might feel, Garnacho, that he owes his manager a performance after the weekend, first half.
You weren't impressed with that, were you?
Oh, my word. I mean, he just had one of those days. I mean, he's got that in him, to be fair. He's also got a brilliant set of feet, and he can create an awful lot of stuff. Doesn't do it often enough, and at the weekend he was very poor, so he owes his manager one.
Cucurella would seem to be all over the back of Martinelli there. Referee eventually gives the free kick in Chelsea's favour. They want to move it quickly. They've done that, and then there was something off the ball, which has resulted in Zubamendi going down, and Peter Banks is being encouraged to take further action against Cucurella. It was Andre Santos who went in on Zubamendi, and then as he got up, I think he tripped him. And the referee just calling over both captains to express his disgust at the antics. And they are just checking here for a possible kick out from Andre Santos. I don't think there was too much in that, Lee.
I didn't see it, to be honest with you. There was an awful lot of... not a lot going on, to be honest with you. It's just a little trip. It's certainly not serious foul play.
Nothing in it, I don't think, and that will be the last act that Andre Santos manages in this fixture, because he is going to be replaced by Alejandro Garnacho. And Andre Santos just encouraging his teammates. Garnacho is on. He will go out to that left-hand side. Esteban will go towards this near touchline, and that might just mean a little reconfiguration for Chelsea again. Enzo Fernandez going a little bit deeper. Sanchez into Gusto. Palmer. João Pedro wanted to get it back to Cole Palmer, stopped by his England colleague, but Esteban was on hand to win it back, and now a little drag back from Cole Palmer. He's into Rice again. Interesting battle.
Yeah, he's been trying to get the ball. Cole Palmer has been wandering around that 10 position, standing in decent positions, not necessarily got the ball. He had a couple of opportunities then to do a bit of magic, but it all closed in on him. Chelsea need him now, 15 minutes to go.
Esteban. Zubamendi does his job. Just halts Esteban in his tracks. Trossard a little bit loose. Eze. Back to Saliba. Eze again, and they've got runners down each side, and it may have been better, instead of playing a straight ball, to play one into the channel.
Timber was away. My man Garnacho had let him run into the space, and he was off. Nobody saw him.
The kind of winger I think you might have enjoyed playing against.
Oh, Christmas come early.
I'm not entirely sure there was that much contact on Eberici Eze, but it certainly went down.
Delayed trip, wasn't it? Some go down and don't get free kicks, and some others do.
He went down in instalments in that occasion, and he got the payout. Well, here's Eberici Eze and Declan Rice discussing what to do from this situation. Declan Rice is going to take responsibility for the delivery. Kai Havertz, Piero Hincapié, Gabriel Martinelli and Gabriel all lined up. They've sent it wide to Trossard to get a better angle, and they've lost the ball. But it's come back to Rice, and now on to Zubamendi, who's floated it to the far post. Gabriel is there, and so is Cucurella. And it could be a match-saving block, that, from Cucurella, because they had a man over at the far post, and Gabriel when he's in that position, well, usually that ends in a goal.
Well, he was there waiting for it. Great little ball, just hung it up. Zubimendi, he's waiting for it. Gabriel gets a good header on it. Cucurella, to be fair to him, just faces him up. Hit me, and he did. Good defending from the full-back.
That was Arsenal's first shot of the second half. 77 on the clock.
They haven't had a corner since that one. I think we only had 2 corners, haven't we?
In the first half, yeah. A little tame from them in an attacking sense in the second 45. It's Caicedo allowed to turn. Enzo Fernandez sliding it forward. Cole Palmer, very central from Chelsea. Esteval thinks he should get a free kick. The referee has concurred. And this is in a dangerous zone.
Yeah, good play from Chelsea again. Pinged into João Pedro. Great touch, then pinged into Esteval. And he goes to shoot, and Gabriel's foot comes in and kicks the back of it. And this is a really, really dangerous position.
It's a bit central, isn't it? But it's within range.
I always think the central ones, you know, the goalkeeper's got a decision to make. Which side he makes his wall, which side does he prefer to dive to. I think they're difficult for goalkeepers at times.
Well, Enzo Fernandez and Cole Palmer can both hit them. Who is best placed to do so? It's a big chance for Chelsea, who haven't had too many and haven't created too many.
Yeah, Fofana's causing a bit of trouble as well. He's standing. I'm sure Timber will just run up and won't stand there and mark him unless Kepa wants him. I don't know what's going on there.
Well, Kepa's getting a little bit distracted. He's having a word with the referee. He's not in an illegal position there for Fofana. Yeah, he's standing. He can stand where he wants, as long as he's not standing in the way of the goalkeeper and his sightline and prevents him from playing the ball.
I mean, he can't. Kepa's pushing him away. He's allowed to stand where he wants.
Kepa's miles towards his right-hand side. He's standing on the post.
He's trying to line the wall up to begin with, and Fofana's not allowing him. But there's no rule to say he can't stand wherever he wants.
Well, 2 Chelsea players standing in an offside position. You've got to be a little bit careful that they are not distracting Kepa, because they don't want any attempt on target ruled out because of that. There is a wall and then a draft excluder. They're standing now too close to where the free kick is supposed to be taken, and they're being pushed back by Peter Banks, because as Moises Caicedo is trying to do there, outlining the line that was painted, they've stepped over. Cole Palmer looks as if he's going to take it. It is Cole Palmer. It's into the wall, and there was a claim of handball. There's a deflection on the way through as the shot comes in from Chalobah, and it goes out.
Yeah, they're checking VAR, possible penalty. Enzo Fernandez shouted straight away. He'll go up. It's hit the top of his shoulder. It's not a handball at all. But the wall was about 7 yards away by the time he took the free kick. They all ran forward and jumped.
Well, this is the second effort which hits Martinelli, but it's by his side. It's never going to be given as a penalty, and it's a corner kick to Chelsea, and those have very quickly been checked and cleared. And there's 9 minutes to go, and a goal for Chelsea now changes the complexion of the tie. And it goes to the near post, and it's flicked by Fofana. There was a collision with Malagusto and Declan Rice at the near post.
Yeah, there's another check, VAR having a look at. It must be that one.
Well, the corner came in. The suggestion was that Gusto runs straight into Rice from the corner kick. But again, it's been another night where there's been a bit of tension, there's been a bit of angst, and there's still 8 minutes And 8 minutes for him to hang on to a place at Wembley and reach a cup final again. He's won one major honour in his 6 years at Arsenal. That was the 2020 FA Cup final. It was against Chelsea at Wembley, an empty Wembley during the COVID season. At the end of August, the cup final was played at. Very odd experience, but a winning one for Arsenal. And they would like to have that winning feeling again. Fofana away. Here is Martinelli chasing towards the corner. Gusto. And that was a little bit short from him, and Martinelli has got it back again. Now Leandro Trossard. Arsenal on the attack here with men inside the box. And they can't find one of them. It's brilliant from João Pedro again. Great hold that play.
It's just sensational. He's not giving one ball away tonight. Brilliant.
Palmer gives it away to Eze. And Eze now on the charge. He feeds Martinelli. Chalobah with a challenge. It might have been a dodgy one. The referee says no penalty. Martinelli thought he was clipped there by Chalobah. Was there contact on the ball first, or did he take the man out?
It looked like he got something on the ball, and then his follow-through looks like it brings Martinelli down. But I think the initial challenge, I think he's fine. He's outside the box. The challenge is outside the box first. He takes the ball, and then his follow-through, Martinelli, the legs get tangled up. It's not a penalty for me.
They are checking a possible penalty because of the leg that comes round. Well, they say they're going to clear it because he plays the ball because there is natural contact after the ball has gone. That's the words of the VAR. And there is no penalty given.
Yeah, I see his left leg follow through, and Martinelli tries to jump over it and catches it, but I think, as you said, the natural force of the two players coming together, the winning of the ball, I think is just about right from the referee and VAR.
Well, just before that, and we are up here in the middle of the Arsenal crowd, you might have heard, and our microphones picked up a bit of industrial language. If that offended you, we are full of apology. Here is Gusto. Emotions are running high, especially up here, actually. Joshua Champong is about to come on for Chelsea. Up towards Esteval. Is there going to be late drama in this game? Five minutes of normal time to play. Joshua Champong about to be introduced to the Chelsea backline.
I've played in semi-finals when the final minutes has been quite hurtful.
Have you? Elaborate.
It obviously wasn't the Carabao Cup, it was the other cup.
Villa Park?
Yes, thanks.
You put it up. Here is Enzo Fernandez.
I just had that feeling then that goes down the back of your spine when you think of something horrible.
He's referring to a very good goal against Arsenal for Manchester United. Here is Esteval with a cross into the box. Flicked away by the Arsenal defence. Cucurella keeps Chelsea in possession here. Arsenal's very firm defence has just got to hold firm for another 4 minutes. Rarely been tested by Chelsea. And one goal changes everything. And Chelsea, remember, have got a habit of springing surprises late in games. They got a very late winner against West Ham at the weekend. Came from behind to beat Napoli last Wednesday. And Rosenior has installed a little bit of character amongst them. Fofana delivering a cross which didn't quite work out. Away by Gabriel. It's a Chelsea throw, and Mikel Arteta has run to the halfway line. Rosenior has tried to control it and failed. Malagusto is off, Joshua Champong is on, as Chelsea make a like-for-like switch at right back. Excellent from Joshua Champon. Straight into the thick of the action. Chelsea want to take the free kick quickly and not allowed to. It might mean that they decide to sling this into the box now, Lee.
Should be. There shouldn't be any thought about it. Having said that, they look like they want to take a quick one.
Cueva, the set-piece coach, is out on the edge of the technical area. Liam Rosenior is almost on the pitch. Mikel Arteta is doing a little dance down in front of us as well, trying to organise his team. As Enzo Fernandez delivers the ball into the box, Fofana flicks it on. It's a goal kick. Well, the Carabao Cup final between either Arsenal and Chelsea or Manchester City and Newcastle is going to be live on ITV1 on Sunday the 22nd of March. Someone's going to lift the first set-piece of the set-piece silverware of the season. Commentary against Middlesbrough. Top two in the Championship. Monday 16th of February is live on ITV4 and ITVX at 7:30. Coventry have dropped a few points, haven't they, in recent weeks, and Middlesbrough are going well under their new manager. Here is Nkapia.
Yeah, from Arsenal's point of view, no mistakes, keep the ball, preferably in Chelsea's half, hit the corners, plenty of channel running.
Well, they haven't threatened that much tonight, Arsenal, but they haven't had to. It was never their game to win, they just had to not lose it. And right now, they're heading to Wembley. Unless Chelsea can come up with something. Caicedo needs to keep his feet though, and he didn't quite do that there, and now Havertz has got the chance to send Trossard away. They're not exactly breaking a neck to get into the penalty area here, Arsenal. There is going to be 6 minutes of added time. Trossard, he kept the ball well there, and he's beaten Cucurella. Nacho did get back to help out his teammates, and now Moises Caicedo trying to shuffle the ball out to Cucurella. Chelsea need a little bit of chaos in the game now to try and create a bit of urgency and a bit of tension.
Yeah, need to force the issue, try and win a free kick. Get the ball in the box as soon as you can. As you said, there's still 6 minutes of injury time.
Here's Enzo Fernandez, room to shoot, and he's overhit that. I think he just quite got a little bit excited, saw the headlines starting to be written, and he got well underneath that. But Chelsea do have 6 minutes to try and find the equaliser.
Yeah, they've got to get a full press on now, Chelsea. As soon as the ball is into that midfield, take a chance.
Well, they need to start launching it really, don't they, and getting it into the Arsenal final third. Those Chelsea fans who are, some of them getting very wet away to our right-hand side. There are 2 balls on the pitch. The Arsenal fans have thrown one in from the clock end away to our right. Esteban has put it back into them. Kepa Balaga is suggesting that he should be booked for that. I'm not entirely sure that's going to happen. Arteta Balaga taking his time. The referee has indicated that he will add all of this on. Chelsea came here looking for a comeback, but they haven't been able to find their way through the red wall. The red wall that has kept 19 clean sheets already this season. There's only 1 defeat in 19 here over the course of this campaign. Arsenal don't usually lose at home. It happened against Manchester United. It's the only time this season that anyone has walked away with 3 points or a victory. Another ball being thrown on the pitch here to delay proceedings. It's becoming a bit of a trend. How will he be feeling, do you think, Liam Rosenior? Has they given it enough, Chelsea?
Well, I'll tell you in 5 minutes' time.
It's that much on a knife edge. One kick of a football can change everything. Declan Rice away. Fofana, blocked by Trossard. Comes through to Robert Sanchez, who needs to get it forward. Chelsea were criticised actually in the game at Stamford Bridge against Arsenal when they needed a goal for playing it out from the back and keeping it too deep and not throwing everything forward.
Well, if they were to go out and Arsenal go to Wembley, then that's where they've lost it. They've not lost it tonight. They'll have lost it at Stamford Bridge. There could have been, as Ian said earlier on, could have been more goals down.
Here's Cole Palmer though, trying to make some magic happen, but again Declan Rice is there, and again Arsenal thwart the attempted Chelsea charge.
Anywhere will do at the moment for a red shirt. They just want to get it at the other end of the pitch.
Just think back to that first leg as well, and the costly mistakes from Rob Sanchez. He's kicking himself after that game. I imagine he will be if they go out here in these circumstances. And Arsenal fans are trying to roar them up the Wembley way. Visit to Wembley is a cherished thing. There's a lot of discussion about silverware and its value. So many teams chasing it. There's only a handful of trophies you can lift. This is one of them, and it's the first of the season. And Arsenal looking to be the first ones in the final. Garnacho, Chalobah, Caicedo. Towards Garnacho again. Good defending from Martinelli. Chelsea keep it on the edge of the box. Fernandes trying to poke it through. João Pedro couldn't keep hold of it on that occasion.
Chelsea trying to go through the middle. They've got to go around the outside and in the box.
Palmer, Enzo Fernandez. He's got Esteval on this near side, the right. Can they unlock him? Takes on Nkapie. He's stuck to him like glue. Enzo Fernandez to Palmer. Back to Enzo Fernandez again. Fernandez trying to drift it into the box. João Pedro with a header. Comes down to Wes Fofana. Can't get his shot away. He's kept it alive though. Caicedo trying to get everyone in the box. He strikes it. It goes out for a throw-in. Liam Rosenior running down the touchline. Hold on. One last throw into the box. Cucurella through the legs of Nkapie. Caicedo, blind pass picked off by Eze. Away by Rice and more relief for the Arsenal defence. And they are sinking backwards a little bit here, Arsenal.
Yeah, it's only natural. Trying to protect what's behind them. Concentrate on what's in front of you.
Cole Palmer. Garnacho is wide out on the left. His cross easily blocked. And now a chance to break away. Rice just thumps it clear. Anywhere will do. Robert Sanchez is going to get there ahead of Martinelli. We're into the final minute that's been allotted. There might be just a smidging extra. Probably just one chance for Chelsea now. One more shot in the dark. Can they force extra time with the last kick of the game? Caicedo. Forward towards Esteval. Back to Caicedo again. Chelsea loading up the back post. Caicedo trying to force it. Might not go out for a corner this. Cucurella steering it backwards. It was an odd move to make, but Chalobah has it again. Chelsea need to sling it in. Caicedo trying to do that. It's aimed towards Fofana and Achimpong gets the header on. And Achimpong's header goes straight down into the arms of the goalkeeper, Ariba Balaga.
Well, they need to concentrate and get back on the pitch. The Arsenal players celebrating behind the goal. The referee's not blown his whistle yet.
Well, we've played our allotted 6 minutes. The referee is being urged to blow his whistle. Forward by Cucurella. Still, Peter Banks has not blown the full-time whistle. And now Arsenal's got a chance to kill it. Havertz is in the middle. Havertz against Robert Sanchez to send Arsenal to Wembley, and he does! That clinches the semi-final, and the former Chelsea player comes back to haunt them. Arsenal reach reached their first cup final since 2020, and it's Kai Havertz who leads Mikel Arteta's team up Wembley Way and under the arch. Chelsea caught out on the break, and look what it means to those Arsenal players. And after a year of injury and sitting on the sidelines, Kai Havertz gets the goal that takes Arsenal back to the showpiece event under the arch.
Well, he's been sorely missed. A lot of talk about centre forwards, but he's been out for ever so long. He's come back and put Arsenal in a Wembley final. There's always going to be a chance of a breakaway at the end. Rice finds him in the middle. Martinelli supports. He's never going to pass it. He was ahead of him anyway. He probably would have been offside, but he brilliantly takes it round Sanchez with a bit of a body swerve into an open net. And all the damage, as far as Chelsea are concerned, was done at Stamford Bridge. Just too much of an uphill task to come here and get that goal, and in the end Arsenal have won it 4-2.
Well, they knew that Chelsea would have to come after them. They knew that Chelsea would have to throw everything at it right at the end if it was finally poised like this, and they were ready to pounce. They did pounce, and they won it. The League Cup never short of drama and never short of a story. The set-piece kings, the clean sheet merchants, and League Cup finalists, Arsenal, are heading to Wembley.
Yeah, and you have to say, over the two legs, they do deserve it. They played ever so well at Stamford Bridge. Some mistakes, as you said, from Sanchez in that game. And that 3-2 victory has carried them through, because there was always a chance of a breakaway, a goal at the end. They didn't have to force the game. They just let Chelsea come onto them. Chelsea play some good stuff in midfield, some good patterns, but not really threatening at the pointed end of the pitch. And they paid the price. Mikel Arteta will be going to Wembley again, and this season rumbles on. The chance of 4 still on the cards.
1993, the last time when Arsenal won the League Cup. George Graham was in the dugout, John Major was in Downing Street, Steve Morrow was being tossed in the air. It was a different world and a different time. But this is what knockout football is all about. 2 giants, 1 prize, neither willing to let it go. And it may not have been a swashbuckling football match like the first leg between the two, but it had intrigue, it had interest, it had tension, and the nerves were jangling right to the very end. But it's Mikel Arteta, who is sometimes accused of being a low-risk manager, who comes out triumphant thanks to Kai Havertz's late goal. The disappointment etched on the face of an emotional Wesley Fofana. He knows that Chelsea kept themselves in the game for a long time here. But look at Mikel Arteta. That's what it means for him to be returning to the big time. And Declan Rice, who has an experience of winning a major trophy, won the Conference League, led West Ham in Prague. He's going back to a big showpiece event and a chance to lift silverware, as he did Eberechi Eze last May with Crystal Palace.
It's not easy getting to cup finals, not easy winning trophies, and very few players get in their careers a chance to pick a trophy up. And so these players have got that chance now. They're obviously going for the league. That's the most important thing. The Champions League is yet to come, and the FA Cup as well. So they're still rumbling around on 4 fronts. Enjoy it, because these moments don't last forever. Celebrate tonight and then get your head down for the next set of games coming, because they come thick and fast. Get your rest in, get your electrolytes in and all that. Maybe have a celebratory drink tonight, but it's back to work again in 2 days' time.
Well, it's a conversation between 2 former colleagues, Esteban and Cole Palmer coming off the bench but not able to breach this brilliant defence that has now kept 20 clean sheets. Arsenal this season so far. There's been some huge characters that have been involved in it. Chelsea gave it their best but couldn't quite manage it. but that defence was superbly marshalled, and Declan Rice played his part in the game as well. And he is down on the pitch, waiting for us to talk to Gabriel Clark right now live.
Congratulations, Declan. What a way to win it in the end.
Yeah, really good way to win it. Credit to Chelsea, to be fair. I think since the new managers come in, you know, they've been really, really good. And he changed the formation tonight, gave us problems, and on another night maybe they could have scored, but credit where it's due. Our defence is incredible, the way we've set up, so strong.
And that's what pulled you through,
yeah,
that resolve in the end.
Yeah, and we really want it, you know. We have a group who really want it this year in every competition, so whatever team comes at us, you know, we're ready for it, and we've got to give 100%.
When it doesn't come that easily, obviously you want that goal in the first half, not in the last minute. What has to be the attitude?
Stay switched on. You know, when you play a team like Chelsea, they throw so many things at you, physically, mentally. And yeah, at points it's really hard. You know, it gets really tough because you're playing against the best players in the world, but you've got to have that resilience to stay strong and keep going. And yeah, it's such a good night.
And for these fans to be back at Wembley for a cup final, first time in 6 years, for you to be at Wembley, you played there a lot, for your first club cup final, it feels like a hurdle cleared.
Yeah, for sure, we deserve it. This club's missed out the last 3 or 4 years, but we've been right at the very top of the Premier League and competing, and we've been really, really close, but that obviously hasn't been good enough, so that's why this season we have that extra desire and fire in our belly to go one step further in every competition. Look, it's a long way to go, but to be in a cup final with this club is amazing, and yeah, just keep focused and keep going.
Dramatic night, well done. Player of the match too. Well done, Declan.
Well, it was tough for Arsenal. Chelsea kept asking questions, but Arsenal have got over the line, and they will be in the League Cup final next month against Manchester City or Newcastle United. The moment that Arsenal came back to Wembley to contest the League Cup final, Kai Havertz against his former club, making it 1-0 on the night, 4-2 on aggregate. The last time the League Cup final was 2018, Arsene Wenger's last season, and they played Manchester City as well, and they may well play City again. We'll find out tomorrow night. Arsenal got the job done, and I think over the 2 legs, we'd have to say, and they deserve it, don't they?
I think so, especially the first leg. I think if Chelsea got anything out of this game, we'd probably ruin the chances that we missed at in the first game, because I think we could have easily won that 4-1. But you know, any means necessary for me. You know, if this is how it's going to be to the rest of the season, and we can nick games and get points, I'll take it, Poogs, because you know it's by any means necessary. You've got to win the games.
And we saw what it meant to the players. I
Absolutely.
mean, you know,
Declan
Rice,
saw him.
Yeah, you know, he's played a 2 European Championship finals. He's won the Conference League with West Ham to play in a club final at Wembley. We saw what it meant to him there.
But it should. That's
Yes,
why you do
absolutely,
this.
yeah.
And yeah, they deserved it over the 2 legs. And I thought they defended superbly. You know, effective. That's what Arsenal are. They're very effective and very efficient, and they didn't have to do anything. If they kept a clean sheet, they were through tonight. And when Chelsea had a go, then they become efficient and take their chance, and they did.
At the risk of Lee Dixon running down these steps and vaulting over here and saying, what are you talking about? You play with the best Arsenal defence of all time, of which Lee was very much a part. 20 clean sheets for this team, this defence. I'm not saying they're up there yet, but they're beginning to put themselves in the conversation about one of the best Arsenal defences,
Exactly,
are they not?
without a doubt. And what helps that is actually going on and winning things, because that defence, they won everything. Obviously not the Champions League, but like they won everything domestically, and rightly so, because they were magnificent. I think that this defensive force, they're brilliant as well. But again, it will all be judged on what you end up getting for it, Poogs. But 20 cleans, that's amazing. That's brilliant.
And to have played in front of them, let's say, you know, you were a midfielder, play in front of a defence like that, what does that give you as a player, as a midfielder, as a team, the knowledge of what's behind you?
You're never worried. Because even if tonight you're not firing or it's not quite working out, or Chelsea throw a formation change and you're a bit shocked, if your team and your back line has ability to keep a clean sheets win your championships.
You know what?
That's the bottom line.
You know the thing with it is, Kaz, I remember playing in that back 5 with a goalie as well. Martin Keown's got to throw his name in, otherwise he'll dig me out. The fact is that you knew that if you scored, you're probably winning that game, and that is what this team's like now. Obviously, the last few games we've let in a couple of goals, silly mistakes for our own own calls, we cause it ourselves. But in the main, Poogs, when you score, you're probably going to win in a team like that, in that defence.
Because Chelsea, quite rightly, as we expected on the hour mark, Estevao came on, Cole Palmer came on, then Garnacho came on. So there were some big hitters. Chelsea tried their absolute hardest, but they got to about 24 yards out, and they needed somebody to be able to bend it in the top corner. They couldn't unpick the lock any closer, could they?
Look, this Arsenal team has lost once here this season. There's a reason. Look, and when Chelsea obviously went for it and put bodies forward, this was the time then when you become efficient. When you get your one moment in the game, you make the right decision, it's 3v1, and Havertz comes on and rounds the keeper. Game over, job done. Thank you very much for in our cup final.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Really pleased for Kai. You know, he's coming on and scoring like that. You know, he's had his problem with the injuries. Hopefully we'll shepherd him through them, because I think that he's another one with big moments. Same with Eze. I think he's times to come. And I'm never going to give up on Victor in respect of the rest of the season. There's moments to be had. Kai just had one there to get us to the final. And, you know, as long as that continues for the rest of the season, I'm happy.
Mikel Arteta won the FA Cup 6 years ago. Arsenal haven't won anything since, but they're in the League Cup final next month. Back in a couple of moments' time as we continue to reflect on what it means to Arsenal to reach the final. And for Chelsea and Liam Rosenior, well, it was always about building blocks. Still plenty for them to play for this season. Arsenal through to the final. You can see the other semi-final, second leg tomorrow. Sky Sports, Manchester City defending a 2-0 lead against Newcastle. We'll have highlights ITV4 tomorrow night. And the final live on ITV1 on Sunday the 22nd of March. Let's hear from Liam Rosenior, the Chelsea head coach, with Gabriel Clark.
Well, it was a tough night in the end for your team. How do you sum up the performance?
In terms of the game plan, in terms of... We dominated the areas we wanted to in the second half, but we didn't find that quality moment. And then when you're pushing, as we were, we put both centre-halves in the box in the last few minutes of injury time. That can always happen in terms of transition moment when you're trying to get back into the tie. But Arsenal will know they were in for a game today. Over both ties, I think there were clear improvements from the first leg to the second. And yes, it's painful to lose. You want to go through. And we just need to keep making improvements, which I'm seeing.
Is the regret simply then the first leg?
Yeah, regret. Well, the first leg, I'm not making excuses. We had an illness go through the camp on the day of the game. We had 4 players missing in that game, and I'd been in for 3 days. So I cannot fault the application, the intensity, the fight of the players. And what we need to do is remember, this is the start, really. And I'm really, really happy with a lot of things I'm seeing. You want to get the results, but we need to make sure we rest, we recover. We have another game in 3 days, another game after that in 3 days, then another game after that in 3 days. And we have to make sure we keep improving as we go.
Well, we said he was very calm and sensible, and that's a very calm and sensible response to the 2 legs, isn't it, from Liam Rosenior?
Yeah, I think so. He's obviously disappointed and frustrated. Obviously, you're in it 0-0 until the very last couple of minutes, and you're thinking you're in it. And he's right, he didn't really get at Kepa. Kepa had very little to do, and he's obviously gone with Estevao and Cole Palmer, and they're probably not 100% for whatever reason. And he's frustrated. He's not had his attacking players have a right good go. But, you know, he's come in, he's won 6 out of 8. And frustrated today. But I do think they have improved under him, and they will keep going. But you know, it's they just kind of huffed. They didn't have enough tonight.
That will be the frustration, won't it? That despite having a lot of the ball, particularly in the second half, they just didn't create anything really clear-cut.
Not quite enough, but he made the points there of everything that was happening. He was there for 3 days. He had a sickness go through the team. You know, they done brilliantly in the game to come back to actually bring it here to the Emirates and have a chance. But you'd have to say you're probably disappointed with some of the things he would have seen. Maybe he said he's happy with some of the things. Obviously, he's not been there long enough, but he saw some good things, and you're probably going to see a lot of progress with Chelsea, especially the way he speaks. Sounds like he's in total control of what he's doing, and I can't wait to see him in another 2-3 months' time. Absolutely,
really interesting. And from Arsenal's point of view, they can park this now, can't they? That's the really nice thing. 6 weeks, you go back to the league action. They're desperate to win the league. FA Cup, Champions League, you can park it, forget about it.
Exactly.
How reassuring is that in a way?
Well, it is because you can relax now. You can relax. We're there. We see we're going to get tomorrow. Is it going to be Newcastle? Is it going to be City? And then you can just forget it. You forget it now until the day comes and just have a great day. Hopefully you can win that and then just knock one of them off.
I think for Arsenal, it's ticking them off. You know, you're in full competitions, and with this squad and with the mentality, this is job done. As you said, move on to the next one, and you keep going and you keep going, and you have that mindset, and you keep making statements. You made a statement against Leeds, you made a statement tonight, and you keep going, and you make sure you bring silverware back, and that keeps people quiet.
Only 4 matches in February, which actually compared with January, which was non-stop, will be a relief because obviously Saka's out, Marina's probably going to be out till you thought at least May. Odegaard's got a little bit of a niggle. That's from a player's point of view, from the manager's point of view, that's a relief, is it? You can just used a very good verb. I thought you got shepherding about Kai Havertz. That's what you can do.
But that's what you can do now. You can just ease people in, and everybody knows that we're getting into the crux end of the season where this is the excitement and all the fitness. We're starting to see people getting fit and everybody's ready. And you're going to need that. And this is why people talking about we're having the best squad. This is where we're going to find out how good our squad is, because we're going to get people back. There's going to be people fighting for positions. And that's what you want, especially what's going on for the rest of the season for Arsenal.
Yeah, Arsenal haven't won the League Cup since 1993, which is astonishing to think. And you were leading the line along with the late, great Kevin Campbell as well. Right, we're going to hear from Mikel Arteta. Let's hear from him now with Gabriel.
Well, did you enjoy that?
Very much, especially the end, the last minute or so when we scored the winner.
Yeah, what pleased you most?
Well, the way we competed, we knew there's going to be a real battle out there for the manner that both teams set up, with the aggression that we play. Because of the conditions as well, it was tough, and what we are playing for. But we really took the game to the level that it was the mindset and the competitive side, and then we had our moments to win the game.
Yeah, Declan Rice talked about the problems that you were posed by Chelsea, but the way you responded was essential tonight, that resilience.
That resilience, that clarity to understand what game we had to play in certain moments, and we did that so well. And we generated tonight a special atmosphere again in our stadium that makes such a difference, and I'm sure that we all enjoyed it.
And what does it mean for this club now to be back at Wembley for a cup final, a proper cup final?
Yes, well, we're certainly going to enjoy that. We've been waiting for a few years to get to that position. The crowd is going to be there as well, not like last time I was here, so really looking forward to it.
It's a good point he makes, because when they won the Cup, it was the COVID Cup final. Nobody was there, so it'll be a very different experience for Mikel Arteta.
It was fantastic at the end here. The scarves are out, the song was going, the atmosphere was fantastic. So you can only imagine what it would be like at that final. So it'd be great for the Arsenal fans to go there.
In the nicest possible way, time to condemn your team to history, is it? And another Arsenal team win the League Cup.
Yes, fingers crossed, yeah. The main thing, this is my first trophy, and it's, I loved it, I treasured it, and it got us going in the end. Obviously, we got the rest of them. It took some time, but to win this one first at this stage of the season would be brilliant.
Absolutely. Thank you very much indeed, everybody. Our next live football, it's a Copa del Rey. It is the quarter-final between Real Betis and Atletico Madrid, and it's 7:55 on ITV4. So that's on Thursday night. And in a few weeks' time, action from the Championship. The current top two in the league, Coventry City and Middlesbrough, go head-to-head a week on Monday, 16th of February. That match not to be missed. Arsenal still firing on all 4 fronts. They've got past Chelsea in the League Cup final next month. Thanks for your company. Bye-bye.